And I think over on Inferno as well, that likely would be going in favor of Na'Vi if we do make it that far.
Yeah, that's the scary thing as well. Inferno being the decider, that's the map Na'Vi picked last time these two teams played, and they won that 16-7. So I'm not sure Epsilon are going to have the best of chances here. I mean, maybe if they could steal away Overpass, that would be, I think, their best chance to win this series. But I don't know how likely that is. I think Epsilon, you know, they're not great on Overpass, that's the thing. It's not exactly Na'Vi's best map either, but it just seems like Epsilon have barely played this map. They've been shying away from it. It's really hard to see a way Epsilon can win this series, but we're going to have to see if they can prove us wrong, because we're going to head underway for Overpass shortly. And, well, I think we both have Na'Vi as favorites, but maybe if Epsilon get off to a good start, Na'Vi gets slow off the gates, then there could be a chance for Epsilon.
Yeah, certainly. That's something that Na'Vi with this roster seem to have kind of struggled with. If they don't get off to a good start, they definitely can have a bit of a problem. But going into this one now, let's see what's going to happen. Over on the T side, Electronic, the only player to pick up utility. For the CT side, Shaq is going to get the defuse kit, and Smooya, he's gone really aggressive. He's looking to try and take this opening duel. He spots out Simple, and he actually takes himself that headshot. And he should now be allowed to fall back for free, stay alive. And Epsilon early on starting this round off quite strong.
That's exactly how Epsilon would have wanted to start this round. Not only is it Smooya looking hot early on, but he's also taken down Simple. That makes things a hell of a lot easier for Epsilon. However, you can just look at the Na'Vi side and see the depth they have. They still have Electronic alive. They still have Flamey alive, who could certainly do damage. So the round certainly isn't won just yet, but you can see here, out towards A long, Smooya's getting even more aggressive. This is classic Smooya play. He loves going aggressive, getting information, and in the meantime, Na'Vi will be pushing towards B, but the info that Smooya has gathered has allowed a bit of a stack. Surreal gets that first kill, trying to reposition, but Edward is going to push for the trade. And despite there being a fair few players towards B, the B hold doesn't look great, but Smooya could be coming in on the flank here.
Yeah, Smooya in a really good position right now. Once that bomb tries to go down for Na'Vi, if they aren't covering this position correctly, it could get scary. Robin able to tap away the head of Edward there also. So a nice find once again for Epsilon as they reclaim the man advantage. And Na'Vi right now kind of just stagnated on this bomb site. They haven't actually been able to get advanced really much further out of the monster position. You see one player just try and wrap around Smooya. Actually surfs along that wall and takes down Electronic. Gets himself a nice headshot. And now it's all onto Flamey to try and clutch this one out. He only has 20 seconds to try and do so. He just has the raid boss with the P250 Kevlar, and he gets the first headshot for himself. That will now allow for the bomb to be retrieved. Time it's still getting quite low. Once he tries to put this down, if both of these players just stick together and push it, it could get very, very difficult for Flamey. 6 seconds now remains. Bomb gets tapped. He's not going to stick it. He goes for the fake to try and bait the players out, and he finds the first. You can see Jack, the moment he notices that Flamey isn't actually going for the bomb plant, he's able to just run away. And even with one more player falling, Epsilon do claim themselves the pistol.
And there we go, nicely done from Epsilon. As I was saying, I think the best chance for them here on Overpass is just getting off to a strong start. Maybe if Na'Vi aren't quite fully prepared, they could struggle at the early stages. And Epsilon have, you know, at least fulfilled the pistol round win. So there's a chance for them to get off to a strong lead. However, they do need to make sure they don't lose this round. And remember, Na'Vi are always dangerous. Even with the Desert Eagles, they have plenty of players that could do damage. So Epsilon certainly cannot afford to underestimate Na'Vi in this round. We are going to see the pistols spread out early on. I think a few times I see teams when they have the CZs not go for pushes together, and I get a bit frustrated. But with the Deegs, it makes more sense. You're trying to play for picks. And Na'Vi, they're not really going to find too many chances early on. Zeus chunked down low. And now they're going to finally group up for a seemingly A-site push.
Yeah, still a decent amount of utility left. There's a smoke, a Molotov, and also 3 flashes available for the Epsilon players. And when you get extremely aggressive, is going to actually be able to spot that bomb out. A lot of info now obtained. Zeus falls, and the man advantage goes in favor of Epsilon. As Na'Vi right now, seems like they've cancelled that long push, at least for the moment. Going back to retrieve this bomb together. Trying to find the kill. Edward actually finds it onto Smooya, perhaps hanging around a bit too long towards the bathrooms. Ends up giving up his life. Now Farmskins needs to be retrieved. But luckily enough, Cosmin, he will be in position to step it up. Finds himself one. Electronic actually takes down at least Robin, but it's going to be going back in favor of Epsilon. 2-on-2, but still with the HP being so low for these final 2 remaining players, it's going to be very difficult for Na'Vi to try and get anything done. The bomb goes down towards B though. This could be the correct decision. Maybe the bomb plant will at least come in. But now back up towards A. Simple decided to come back in this direction, and he loses his life. And now the bomb down all the way towards mid. There's no chance anymore for Na'Vi to get this round unless Electronic somehow finds both kills. And they're just so far apart. There's no chance. He may get Cosmian at least, may get the FAMAS for himself, but that's going to really be it.
Yeah, and this isn't that great for Na'Vi, honestly. Electronic doesn't get the extra money because he survived after time, so he's only going to have $700 in the bank. And sure, he might have the FAMAS, but he's not going to have... Well, I was going to say he's not going to have the support of his team, but Na'Vi now decide to take a gamble here. Because Electronic didn't get any money, they decide to go for the full-on force buy. I'm not sure I like this decision this early on into the game. I feel like Na'Vi should be very confident in their gun rounds, but they're going to delay those gun rounds with this force early on. Zeus with the CZ might come in towards B short, and Na'Vi again are just going to spread across the map. Epsilon just fell off that boost towards B though, so they won't spot out Zeus making his way towards B short. And Na'Vi just going to sit back patiently to start this force buy. And one thing to point out, this very likely will be not unexpected, I guess, from Epsilon's perspective.
They should definitely be aware that it's a possibility for the force buy, considering there was only 2 players who remained alive. They saved 1 player, and yeah, it's just carrying over that FAMAS. They decided to try and back it up, and they do have a pretty decent buy overall to actually try and work around with. They have some utility, unlike the previous round. And right now, Epsilon going for actually a fairly heavy SMG buy. A couple of UMPs, an MP9, a FAMAS, and Cosmi, and the only one with the M4. So right now, Na'Vi just getting themselves some map control. Working over towards A. See Edward looking to try and get along. We see 3 players working towards the bathrooms, and Robin, he spots out 1, takes a bit of damage there towards Simple. Molotov goes down to ensure that he won't get overwhelmed from 2 different positions, and he just decides to take that fight up against Simple and does end up winning it out. So once again, Epsilon able to take that man advantage, and Na'Vi down in a 4-on-5. What they decide to do this time, they haven't had much success in these past two rounds after losing that opening kill. Let's see if they're going to find it this time. Electronic with the FAMAS, of course, will really be the one we look towards to get most of that damage done.
Yeah, time is ticking down here, 23 seconds, and Electronic finally opens things up for Na'Vi, but he will fall. The FAMAS is recovered by Edward, and he gets a quick headshot, but now he's the only man left. And Smuya is going to double down from the B bomb site. So I think now at this point, Na'Vi just need to make sure they do fairly heavily eco here, just to make sure they get as strong a buy as possible into the next round. They should be feeling, again, as I was saying, very confident with their gun rounds. They are the big favorites here, so I'd just like to see them save as much as possible, and that's exactly what they've done. They've only invested into a few upgraded pistols, and so it looks good for Epsilon to claim an early 4-0 lead.
Yeah, quite likely. Still can't really underestimate the pistols though, especially with the deagle in the hands of Electronic, Simple, and Edward. But Smuya, he's able to open that up once again, goes aggressive, takes down Edward, who didn't really have anyone in position to try and actually get that trade frag, and because of that, Epsilon, once again for free, take themselves a man advantage. Na'Vi though, let's see what they go for now. They are kind of split up, a couple players over towards the mid position, a couple towards connector, and they may just try and work together in this group of 4 now to take 1 or 2 kills out of this. If they can drop a couple of weapons, keep the economy for Epsilon modest, that would probably be the best case scenario right now, and of course a bomb plant if possible, but it's going to be very difficult to try and actually get in towards the bomb sites. They have made a decision perhaps about where they want to try and take this one, and it seems to be towards B, but 3 players are going to be in position to try and lock this one down, including some utility. Surreal has a Molotov to try and deny the monster push, and now let's see what's going to be found by Na'Vi as they only have 50 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and something that I was going to point out in the pre-game is that I think, sure, Smuya and Smuya and Simple are certainly the big draws for their respective teams. I think it'll be the rest of the players stepping up that will be important for either side, because I think Smuya and Simple are almost guaranteed to go off. Either way, Cosmi going to get a kill out towards B. That boost was spotted, and Simple might be gifted a kill, but Smuya plays it safe. 23 seconds left now, and the push should come in towards B. Cosmin again in position. It's actually Surreal to get the first, and Smuya times the flank to perfection. Another triple kill for him. He is up to 8 frags early on. Good to see him in some good form early. And Na'Vi now will finally get their first buy.
Yeah, and Epsilon actually deciding to keep over a couple weaker weapons. They have a FAMAS for Chak, they have an MP9 for Surreal. Smuya does upgrade his way towards the AWP, and Simple actually won't have one available. Even after losing 4 rounds in a row, the money bonus wasn't enough to allow for him to get that, or maybe he just didn't want it, but either way it is just going to be the 5 rifles, and a decent amount of utility also for Na'Vi to work with. They are a very tactical team usually. The way they approach the game is usually quite methodical. They just go for the map control and make late round decisions off of that one. which sometimes does work against them, but right now they are going to be making at least a bit of aggression over towards A long. That's just going to be simple, and once again, it is going to be one out by the CT side. Epsilon then allows them to take that one-man advantage, and he even takes down Edward afterwards, as that flash works to perfection. And now NATUS VINCERE with 3 players remaining, they try to make this play, trying to bring it back in their favor. Electronic with a great headshot onto Smooya. It is going to be what starts this one off now for Navi, but Jack instantly returns it. And now it's all onto Flamey and Zeus to try and clutch out this 2-on-4, and it's not going to be easy by any means. They have at least got some control towards B, but Flamey not expecting that MP9 to be coming from short. Nice damage by Surreal, and the nade chips it away even further. As now Flamey in a really bad position. He's just going to be taken down, and Zeus is the last man standing. His position is known, and he's left to try and clutch out a 1-on-4.
And Cosmine comes in from behind. A nice little 3k for him to warm himself up. And as I was going to say earlier, I think that the sort of second stars will be the most important factor for either side. Cosmine has certainly been inconsistent for Epsilon. However, if he can show up, that gives Epsilon, I think, a real chance at least competing against Na'Vi. You can see Na'Vi have been forced back into a timeout very early on here because they are 5-0 down. And that last round did look a little worrying from Na'Vi, to be honest. They spread out across the map. They tried to work some picks, and it made it quite easy for the CTs to hold it off. And, ooh, look at Smooya. I don't know if this was a purposeful buy, but the AUG is in play. It will go over to Robin. I guess the advantages of the AUG are, number one, at very, very close range, it can be a one-shot headshot. I mean, you have to be right in their face, though, so I don't think it's too relevant. But holding long-range angles, the AUG could be useful, so we'll get to see if that was a purposeful buy or if Robin is just going to take that one because it may have been a misbuy from Smooya.
I'd say if it was a misbuy, he'd probably be happy enough with keeping that. I was gonna say it should be an eco coming in by Navi, but it seems like they will actually go ahead and buy into this one. We see Flamey at least buys up an AK. Seems like Edward's only gonna invest roughly half of his money, as are the rest of the players. Simple doesn't want to really put anything into this one, I guess, wants to make sure that he can get the op out in the following round. He does get a deagle, but still, with the full money bonus, $3,400 will be more than enough to allow for the AWP to come out. So into this one, Navi, they at least have a small bit to work with. They have been at least doing a decent job at keeping the economy of Epsilon fairly low. They've built up to about an average of 5,000 or so, I believe, but 5 rounds in a row, that's not really amazing for Epsilon. So Navi just trying to keep it low now, as they will be just going for a bit of a faster paced round. Rather than holding back and splitting up and losing those opening aim duels, they are just going to group up as 5 and try and make their way in towards the B bomb site. And let's see if they're going to be able to find any success into this one now, as it seems like it will actually be opened up by Jack as he takes down Zeus. Flamey not having any success either with the AK, but as I say that, Smooya, he gets caught as he pushes out forward from heaven, and that smoke not really covering the boost position. Surreal to try and take the fight, and it's actually going to work out in his favour. Even drops the bomb in towards Monster. And so far, Navi not really having a lot of luck trying to get their way in towards this B bomb site. Only that one kill by Flamey, and both of his teammates have now been tagged down quite low.
Yeah, a minute left, and Cosmine gets a very quick headshot. Flamey doesn't get the chance to do anything. With that smoke being up, that may allow Electronic to get the gun, but it's only a UMP, and he will fall. Simple, the last man left, also dropped. And, I mean, this is very lackluster from Na'Vi now. 6-0 down. They are finally going to get themselves a buy together with an AWP in the hands of Simple. This is the first time he has been able to get the AWP on this T side. Let's see if that's what he needs to warm himself up, because currently, Simple's down there at 1 kill, 6 deaths. I normally wouldn't point that out, but that's quite uncharacteristic for a player of Simple's level.
Yeah, this level of opponent is what you'd really expect him to shine against. But then again, he hasn't got the op out, perhaps hasn't had the playmaking ability with that AK quite as much. Now that he does have it, let's see what he's going to be able to find. But Smooya has shown confidence once again, opens it up onto Edward by taking him down, and once again, the trade not going to be able to come in. They're just too split up. They aren't close enough to be able to find that trade without allowing the CT player to just fall back off and remain alive. And you can see Simple just hoping that perhaps someone on the CT side will over-aggress and give something back for Navi to work with. Because right now, Epsilon are doing a great job on this CT side of just adapting, going early on for those aggressive pushes and taking themselves the advantages and then working off of that, making Navi really actually work if they want to try and take the round, not really giving them any opportunities. And Smooya, he spotted a couple players on long, happy enough of falling back and just using that flash and leaving a teammate up close now. This is a pretty good position for the Epsilon side. It looks like Navi will focus over towards A long, and they may not expect Surreal to be playing up so close.
Yeah, so again, Epsilon get that opening kill. As he was saying, this setup towards A long, it is somewhat common, and that Molotov makes the damage done. I think that may have been heard by Na'Vi as well, so Surreal could be in trouble. It's simple to actually get the first frag, and Zeus does come in for the spray down. That is just the A defense completely collapsing for Epsilon. I believe it was Simple who won that AWP fight against Smooya as well, so that was a really important frag to find to be able to open it up. And Na'Vi finally going to get themselves on the board here. That was just a quick explosive push on towards that A site, and that's the Na'Vi I was kind of expecting to see. Just individuals showing up, winning the aim fights, and there wasn't anything Epsilon could really do about that one.
Yeah, much better round into that one by Na'Vi. Finally, some opening kills are going to be going in their favor, and you can see right now Cosmian and Jack, they are just trying to save the economy for Epsilon. It is going to be enough to at least buy into the following round. They'll look to try and maybe reset the economy of Na'Vi, who they themselves are just going to be making sure that they do live with 4 weapons into this one. So I don't really think we'll see them hunting too aggressively. We see they have kind of pushed forward, but they seem to be kind of stopping in their tracks now. Simple not going any further than A-Long itself, as he doesn't want to allow for the op to be retrieved by Epsilon. And yeah, you see that round does end with 2 players still alive for Epsilon because of that. Once they reinvest, they should have a small amount of money still left over, and Cosmin able to even drop the AWP to Smooya, so it's still a really strong buy for Epsilon. We've seen them doing a very good job of being able to find those opening kills as mentioned before. Let's see if they're going to be able to do so once again, or if Na'Vi will be finally beginning to step it up on this T side. Perhaps it was just a bit of a slow start for the Ukrainian team. Smooya likes to get aggressive, and you can see he is going to do so once again. And sprints straight up short and through that Molotov. Doesn't really take a lot of damage either. And he is going to be looking to try and find this opening kill now over towards B Water, as Na'Vi seems like they are going to be just going for a very standard default, splitting up. Only 1 player in this position, but Electronic just to find that one onto Smooya and open it up in favour of Na'Vi for what I believe is the first time in this game so far.
Yeah, and I think something else worth pointing out on the Na'Vi side of things is that Electronic generally still has very, very good performances against these sort of lower tier teams. I think that really makes Na'Vi a good choice for being unlikely to be upset for the most part. I think that when Simple and Electronic are going off, this team is almost impossible to deal with, and that certainly could be happening here because Electronic is currently leading the scoreboard for Na'Vi. Either way, 53 seconds left. They're looking to group around A, and Robin just out in the open. I think he was trying to play an off angle there to watch in towards Party. However, he just gets caught from Connector, and that leaves a single player holding A. Cosmin has it all to do. He's going to have 4 players coming towards him, and I don't see if he's going to be able to do it. Cosmin does get the first kill. No trade coming in just yet, and Cosmin certainly will slow this down as he gets a second. Nearly the third, but he's eventually shut down. Either way, back to a 2v2, but Surreal loses in that fight against the AWP. And now it's just Sack left. He's going aggressive with the AWP. He gets the first frag. Now it's a 1v1. Simple just about finds the kill. I don't know how he got that shot through. That was ridiculous. But now he just about get their second.
That round was just pure skill back and forth. We saw Cosmin hitting some nice shots, dropping the bomb, doing a great job at delaying. That allowed Jack to push up forward towards the truck and get himself a nice shot into the player who was trying to plant. And then Simple, I believe twice in a row, he missed a few shots and then just kind of jumped and managed to connect it afterwards. But yeah, this one, Epsilon will be able to buy once again, but they're running a bit low on economy now. They lose this one, likely going to be an eco, and we see the aggressive push once again by Smooya, and he finds it. He's down Flamey, and Edward looking to try and find the trade frag, and Nate does a lot of damage to him, and Smooya has the chance to try and get himself a second, but he doesn't actually hit it, and he'll now go back to try and watch Connector, where Electronic is going to be awaiting. Zeus falls to Robin. Electronic spots out Smooya now, but with a smoke going down, he is just going to be forced back a little bit further for the moment. Surreal even looking to try and get aggressive. They want to try and support Smooya, I guess. He's kind of trapped in towards Connector currently. Not a lot you can do in this position with so many terrorists up on mid. Electronic still holding in Connector. This could get still a bit risky right now for Epsilon. It's not like they do have the 2-man advantage, but it's not like they have the position to get all their players just back to the bomb site and to play it safe.
Smooya up close and connected with the... You would think he would be in trouble, however, you never know. Electronic's going to come his way, and indeed does get that frag. So unfortunately for Smooya, only the 1 kill for him this time around. Having said that, it's still the man advantage for Epsilon. Simple's trying to force the issue there. He's not going to get the frag, but Electronic now will push forwards. A very snappy headshot from him, but it's still a 2v3 to play from. But Electronic just hunting down the kills. 3 frags for him in this round now. And with 27 seconds left, Na'Vi are going to creep their way up A long. Simple is lining up the Molotov. Electronic will go in first with the rifle. He's already got 3 frags. He'll be looking for another, but TSAC comes in and sprays them both down. A 3k for him in the round, and Epsilon may have just broken Na'Vi's economy again.
Yeah, you can see right now there's a couple of players who are actually facing the double eco. Edward being one of those. Because of that, he will go ahead and buy up, as will the rest of his teammates. They get the 2 important players, though, with weapons in their hands. Electronic gets an AK Simple able to get the AWP, and Epsilon still not really building up an economy. So if Navi are actually able to take this one back, then they should be in a really solid position. But of course, having a slight disadvantage right now in terms of the firepower. So let's see what they're going to be able to find in this round. As once again, it seems like they are just going to be sticking with this default, something that you do expect to come out of Navi. Just as mentioned before, just slow and methodic, keep control of the map bit by bit, and then make your decision about where you want to go. And right now, Epsilon looks like they have decided to go a little bit more passive in this round. They put a bit more presence towards B, perhaps expecting to push over towards this side of the map. But right now, Navi, they will just be focusing on trying to get control of middle and connector, and likely making their way in towards the toilets. As Simple actually does manage to spot one player during the toilets, but he was just jumping, so he wasn't actually able to get any shots off. And Robin, now getting himself a bit of info, just falls back off to play on a bit of a more passive angle with this UMP.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I was kind of saying earlier, I was expecting both Smooya and Simple to be just consistently showing up for both their teams, but Simple has had a little bit of a slow start here. Still down there at 4 kills, 7 deaths. It's actually Electronic who's been leading the way for Na'Vi. I said that if the second players show up for Na'Vi, they should be good, but not been the case so far. Either way, 40 seconds left. Na'Vi look focused on this A-bomb site. Robin is the first line of defense, and he only has an ump. However, having said that, he may catch them off guard. There's 2 kills for Robin. The UMP sprays them down. And now with 25 seconds left, Na'Vi need to crack this bomb site, and Smooya is still here with the AWP, trying to find an angle. Ooh, he lands the shot, but not quite the frag. Just about stays alive and gets that kill. 33 HP left on towards him, but he's done enough. 10 seconds left, and Na'Vi are already falling back for the save. And well, the rest of the team, again, is going to have very little money to play with, even if these 2 guns are going to be saved.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking for Edward. If he had a rifle there instead of just the deagle, he probably would have had that kill. He tried to spam it, and Smooya just jumping, it didn't end up connecting, and because of that, Smooya was able to take the kill. And if Smooya found the site, likely the T's there would have been able to get on towards it, get the bomb down, and then they would have had a nice 3-on-3. So unlucky for Edward, but yeah, Epsilon able to get themselves another round. Seems like Navi are going to be actually working with a bit of an investment into this one once again. The only person who keeps any form of money is Flamey, so looks like they are opting to try and take the force by. They don't want to allow Epsilon to get themselves too many more rounds on this CT side. And once again, they continue on with this aggression. Smooya, he looks to try and find an opening kill. This time he won't be able to find it. And after that, he does just want to fall back off. Doesn't want to risk being overwhelmed. Doesn't want to risk getting rushed down by the pistols. I don't think they're really aware whether it's the full buy yet or not. As right now, Navi just continuing on with that default. Some presence being put towards B, some presence in connector. And just Edward holding A really passively. So, doesn't really... I'm not really sure right now what they're looking to go for in this one. Of course, they only have the up and the AK to try and work the picks, so I guess they're trying to focus those on the B side of the map mostly. Simple right now, he's going to be actually in towards the bomb site, just playing in towards water with that AWP, but he's not really actively looking for a pick currently.
Yeah, and generally, it's Smooya who gets aggressive for Epsilon, but this time Cosmine finds a couple of players in the back. There's the first kill, easy spray downs, and Cosmine finds 2 opening kills. It isn't the AK or AWP lost, but it's still a 2-man advantage for Epsilon to work with. And I'm quite surprised that Cosmine got so aggressive there, because he had almost no support from his teammates. If he would have gone down, then the A site could have been vulnerable, but nonetheless, it works out. And now there are 4 players stacked towards B for Epsilon. And again, Na'Vi, they've run down the clock, but they're just going to run straight into the stack. Electronic, very quick opening headshot, but Robin is still here. The flash comes in, and he's going to shut down Zeus. The trade comes out, but Smooya in towards water is going to make it happen. Another 2k for him. Epsilon now 9-2 up, and they should have forced Na'Vi back to an eco. And you can see Na'Vi having to take a pause. So while we have this time, while we have a little bit of a downtime in the game, I'm going to quickly bring up the giveaway we currently have running here on eFrag. If you subscribe to the channel on Twitch, you will be entered to win a flip knife blue steel field tested. Very nice knife. If you want to enter, just subscribe on Twitch. That will be drawn on Sunday after the final of this tournament. And other than that, back into the action where Na'Vi going to have a very limited buy here, and this is really incredible that Epsilon have been able to get such a lead.
Yeah, 9-2. This is not what I was expecting. As we started this game, I said that likely Navi should be taking over past what he is. I was saying Epsilon maybe to reach 8 or so rounds. I didn't think they'd reach double digits, which is looking extremely likely right now. And with Cobblestone being kind of the best map we've seen from Epsilon lately, if Navi do lose this one, they could be in danger of getting 2-0'd.
Yeah, exactly. Cobblestone, the last time these two teams played, was very close. And if Simple continues to not perform, if the rest of the team continues to not show up individually, then this could absolutely be dangerous for Na'Vi. This could be a 2-0. And remember, if Na'Vi do lose this series, they have no chance of getting to Katowice. This is the last chance qualifier for every team involved. And that would be pretty painstaking for Na'Vi, I think. They would have been favorites heading into this one. Either way, Flamey's going to get dropped early on. Again, just pistols for Na'Vi. I don't really know, like, considering they've just taken a timeout, I don't know why Flamey is alone towards B short while the rest of his team sit back. Like, something just kind of feels off with Na'Vi here today, I kind of feel like.
I think the hope for Flamey there was that he'd be able to make a bit of presence on B to take some focus from the A side of the map. They were hoping perhaps that once again Smooya would go aggressive towards middle and maybe no one would be pushing forward on B. But there we go, Electronic at least brings one back. He does take down Robin with the Deagle. As you mentioned, Electronic has been the player for Navi so far who has really stepped it up in these rounds that they've been able to take, albeit only 2 of them. Right now, Epsilon in a 4-on-4. They lost one pick, but Surreal, he looks to try and go aggressive once again. Pushes forward. What's Electronic? He to get that kill for himself, and it could get a bit dangerous as he is going to be pushed up. He doesn't really have too much support other than Cosmian back on the bomb site, but still going to be working out. Surreal shuts this one down. Cosmian chimes him at 1. Now it's all on to Simple, and he only has a Glock to work with. Surreal eventually closes that one out, and Epsilon do get themselves that 10-2 lead. And it is going to be double digits, and Navi, they should be getting back onto the buy now.
And if you have just joined us and you're wondering if this scoreline is correct, yes, I can confirm Epsilon are currently 10-2 up on Na'Vi's map pick. However, now Na'Vi finally have a buy back into their hands. And to be honest, this almost, I mean, it's not a must-win round, but it almost kind of feels like it at this point. They should probably be wanting 4 or 5 rounds to realistically have a chance on their CT side. So Na'Vi will put a lot of weight into this round. They are going to be holding back to start things off. And for what it's worth, again, Smooya is getting aggressive with the AWP. He's pushing it through connector. I mean, Smooya, whatever you want to say about him, he's certainly got balls. I'll give him that.
Yeah, certainly, and especially being able to do it against players on this level. I believe they mentioned on the desk that he tweeted out that they were confident that they could get the win, and right now he's shown that confidence for sure. It wasn't empty words, there was definitely meaning behind them, as right now Navi focusing towards A long. Robin, he gets very aggressive, not really going to work out in his favour. Didn't expect Edward to already be positioned up close. Because of that, Navi get themselves the opening pick. We've seen this a couple times in the half already. Sometimes they've been able to capitalise, but a lot of the time also Epsilon with that aggression have been able to pull it back. But Simple, he chimes in with 1 now. Cosmian gets 1 for himself, as does Chak. And now we're back into a 3-on-3, but Electronic, as he lurks out onto this B bomb site, he should be able to find this for free. It's all up to whether Surreal can actually get this kill himself, as no, it won't work out. Electronic with another. Another B bomb site under the control of NATUS VINCERE, as it is just going to be Chak and Cosmian that have to try and get themselves this retake, and they will both be looking to try and come in from the CT position, at least to see him sticking together. But right now, the bomb has to try and get across for Navi, which is going to be difficult, but Zeus, out of all players, Zeus will be the one to step it up and find that quick double headshot.
There we go. Na'Vi finally getting another round together. Electronic there towards B, certainly, again, getting some snappy headshots. And I think what was really important there was, I believe Simple may have made some steps on the flank. Or sorry, Smooya may have made some steps on the flank, so Simple could just turn around, take his head off. And that meant that Smooya's AWP didn't have the impact in that round. Either way, into round 14, it's still a bye for Epsilon. But if Na'Vi win this round here, they're going to force Epsilon down to a poor buy into the last round of the half. So this could be a decent chance for Na'Vi to get themselves back into the game. If they can win this round, they should be heavily favoured to take a 5th and close out the half with at least a somewhat sort of playable T side. And at the early stages here, neither side really going for any aggression. We've seen Smooya play very aggressively with the AWP previously. This time around, he's holding a little bit further back, but he's still holding a little bit of an aggressive angle out towards A long.
Yeah, this is an interesting angle. It could work out in his favour, but he's not actually going to be able to connect the shot there. He is going to be forced to fall back off, and that'll allow Simple to get the control. Actually, I believe he may have just about connected that shot and actually got some damage. So Nice find either way. Simple is down to 19. Early on, a slight HP advantage is going to be in favour of Epsilon. But as Navi just commit to this B bomb site, it is now going to be Epsilon having to try and hold this one down. Smooya, he's actually the only one up on A, so there is going to be 4 players in position. One who could rotate back down through connector. Robin has the possibility of a flank, and Cosmian finding that opening kill onto Electronic is a good start into this round for Epsilon, as it's looking even better now. Edward, he steps it up to at least find one. Surreal on the bomb site is going to be able to find himself actually a quick double spray down, leaving it all onto Zeus now to try and clutch it out. And Robin finally able to capitalise on that flank and take him down. And Epsilon get themselves up to 11. NATUS VINCERE, Navi, their economy has been completely reset, but they will have to buy up first.
So heading into the last round of the half, it is going to Epsilon still with a very strong buy, as you would expect, but Na'Vi having a couple of pistols in the mix. And here we go. Let's see if Na'Vi can at least get it with 2 AKs. Smooya peeking in towards mid, but Simple just taps off his head. A couple of rounds now, Simple has been able to get the better of Smooya, and in the meantime, Robin just straight up peeks connector into 3 players. So that's going to be another rifle lost and another rifle gained for Na'Vi. 5v3 now, and surprisingly enough, it's looking good for them here as a little bit of a switch-up happens. Simple's going to get the AWP, and Na'Vi now might just be able to get a 4th round at the end of this half.
Yeah, looking quite likely. Seems like they will just group up and try and take over the B-bomb site together. It is only going to be, I believe, 1 player towards this position. That's Surreal, so if Na'Vi just go in as 5, it's unlikely Surreal's going to be able to hold this one down, especially only with a UMP. 1 minute does still, of course, remain. Epsilon not really fully aware that it's going to be the push immediately towards B, but as Flamey finds the kill onto Surreal through the door, that should give them a bit of an idea. We see Chak rotating in to try and hold this one down, but still, not looking so good for Epsilon. 2 on 5. Cosmin getting aggressive on A, may be able to actually catch this bomb off guard though as it comes back in this direction. This could get a bit scary. 40 seconds remain, so they're not really in too much trouble in terms of the time, but still, it could get a bit awkward if the bomb gets dropped out in the open. We see Cosmin able to take a couple of kills as he gets one. Simple will be able to trade that one back though. And now Chak finally rotating back up from the B-bomb site. He may get into position in time at least, as it seems like Na'Vi will go ahead and slow this one down, but they're actually going to go back towards B once again. So Epsilon getting completely faked out currently. Na'Vi just going back and forth from either side, and it just works out perfectly. Edward finds the final kill, and Na'Vi do get that 4th round.
There we go, at least something to work with for Na'Vi. Pistol is still going to be effectively a must-win for them. You can see at the half as well, just taking a quick look at the scoreboard, it's Cosmin leading the way for Epsilon. He's been a little bit quiet, I guess, to be honest, in terms of the way he's got his kills, but clearly he's just been consistently showing up for the team, consistently fragging, and even if, you know, the way you're getting the kills are quiet, just finding a solid 1 or 2 kills every round really makes a massive difference. So certainly seeing Cosmin perform well is part of the reason why Epsilon have been able to get out to this lead. And heading into the second half, it's all down to this pistol for Na'Vi. This is, well, I would say a must-win, but Na'Vi certainly have the potential to do damage with Deegs if they lose this. Still, though, they'll be looking to win the pistol to give themselves the best chance.
Yeah, if they take the pistol, they'll be in a pretty solid position. It is a map that's usually slightly biased towards the CT side, so if they pick that one up, it will be looking decent. As now coming into this one, let's see if it is going to go in favour of Na'Vi indeed, or will Epsilon continue to increase that lead even further. Once again, it is going to be Robin to pick up a utility. Zeus gets the defuse kit, and right now Epsilon, looks like they will be sending a few players up over towards the A position, and maybe down through connector. They just leave Smooya to make sure that no flanks are going to come in fast from Monster, as it is going to be actually a pretty passive round so far by Epsilon, perhaps expecting an aggressive push to come out from Na'Vi. Not right now, it's only really Edward that goes forward, pushes up on A long, looking to try and find that, and he pushes towards middle by the terrorist side, but it seems like now with Epsilon not been able to counter some aggression towards A, they will try and go back towards B, and Smooya, he hits a great shot onto Simple with that P250 at long range. That was a very nice find, as now Na'Vi once again going to be left in a 4 on 5, and Edward doing his best to try and bring this one back. He's going to be able to take a couple kills for himself as he takes down both Chak and Surreal, but Cosmin with the trade will equalise the situation once again in terms of manpower.
Yeah, this pistol started out exactly the same as the one from the first half. Smooya picking off Simple. However, this time around, Na'Vi bring it back to a 3v3 thanks to Edward. The push has come out through B. Electronic, here's the steps. He could do damage here. Just about gets the first. There's the second. And Electronic manages to get the bomb and 2 frags. That leaves Smooya all alone in a 1v3. He has got the P250. He's going to go pushing towards Electronic, who is still alone, but Smooya for some reason, turns his back, doesn't expect Electronic's angle, and an impressive 3k for Electronic wins that all-important pistol.
Yeah, just great work by Electronic to bring that one back, and it seems like Smooya wasn't really aware of the position. I guess that is a positive of having that silenced USP. But no bomb plants coming in for Epsilon. They will decide to force buy into this one. Everyone except for Smooya, of course, who wants to make sure that he can get the op out in the first gun round. Has gone over towards mid right now. It will be simple with this scout. He gets the tag onto Robin. Get the kill currently, but some nice damage early on done in favour of Navi. Now Epsilon, it seems like they are going to be playing a little bit more aggressive than we've seen from Navi on their T side. They're definitely trying to rush down these players a bit faster, try and get up close range with these pistols and overwhelm the CT defense. It is going to be towards toilets now, where Epsilon take themselves some control, and Edward just playing up close with this MP9. He is in a pretty solid position. He needs to have some support from his teammates though, as we do see Robin creeping his way up short and finding that opening kill onto Zeus, and he gets a second on Simple. Edward, luckily enough, will be able to trade one out, but still a man advantage going to be in favour of Epsilon as they make their way onto the A bomb site. Now support will finally be coming in, and Edward actually in a great position here to try and cut off the rotate up through connector. Takes down Surreal, and now back into it. Oh, Cosme, and I was going to say back into a 3-on-3, but once again another player falls from the Navi side as trades continuously go back and forth. So it's just been a very back and forth round so far. Epsilon, they have the bomb, they have control of the A bomb site. But it looks like right now they're going to be looking to might try and maybe find one kill before they go for the bomb plant, it seems. They want to try and force the 2-on-1, and it is going to actually work out for them. Jack finds Electronic, and that opens up access to the B bomb site now.
Well then, Epsilon, with just the pistols, might be able to pull this one off. Edward only has the MP9 in play, and no defuse kit to speak of, at least at the moment. He's going to come around through towards Heaven. Edward makes the steps, and Sax spots him out. So Epsilon win the force straight back at Na'Vi. And now you can see Na'Vi, they are going to go for the force buy, but it doesn't look great for them. The CZ bought by Zeus, the rest of the team are also only going to get pistols. And, I mean, we said winning the pistol round was going to be important for Na'Vi, but if they're going to lose to the second round force buy, then it doesn't really matter too much, because now Epsilon are certainly in position where they could just come out to an insurmountable lead if they can just shut down Na'Vi in this very round.
Yeah, that's going to be a very solid position for Epsilon indeed, because if they're to lose this one, Navi either go for another force buy or go for an eco, and then Epsilon are going to be likely able to reach their way to 14. But Edward, he gets aggressive early on, has the dig, doesn't have Kevlar to back it up. Going to find that opening kill, as he will for now just fall back off, realising that there's too many opponents for him to try and face off against on his own. But Zeus, look at this aggressive push. He's able to get a lot of control over towards B. Surreal, he's going to get forced back into a bit more of a passive position, and Simple over towards A long is able to connect the shots with the dig. Takes one before it is going to be Zeus finally traded out over towards the B monster position, and Epsilon looks like they may just try and commit in towards B, but for now the bomb, it is going to be left behind. They notice out that aggression also in towards the B water position, and because of that it looks like they will indeed just commit out of monster, and that's a nice find by Surreal. Takes down Flamey. Electronic last line of defense on this bomb site currently, as his teammates will begin to rotate in. Playing on a nice position, at least playing above the smoke up on top of the bomb site, but Smooya with the AK spamming away. A bit of an iffy spray, doesn't really manage to get too much damage connected, and Electronic is still in such a great position on the bomb site. The bomb will be getting planted, but he pushes forward, denies it on Cosmin. Smooya luckily enough returns as he gets himself a second onto Simple. The one tap comes in, and now it's all onto Edward, as mentioned before. Doesn't have the Kevlar to try and back up this Deagle, and even finding one more kill, he will eventually be taken down by Smooya, and that allows Epsilon now to take that 13-5 lead.
Ooh, very clean round from Smooya, getting himself triple. I think he just tapped the player in towards Heaven, and that makes it happen for Epsilon. They're up 13-5, and now Edward is going to have the one rifle, but Na'Vi still with a somewhat lackluster buy. Either way, while we have a brief moment, I quickly want to mention the sponsors of this tournament, Farmskins, and thank them for sponsoring. I do see a quick fight though. Edward loses that rifle. That's basically any chance at the round gone for Na'Vi unless these pistol players can step up, because that M4 is lost. And in the meantime, the connector fight goes the way of Smooya. He tries to tap off the head, but takes a lot of damage. Simple in the meantime has looked on form with the Desert Eagle. The push is going to come in, but Simple is taken down. It's Electronic and Flamey left, and it looks likely that Epsilon are going to take their 14th. And as I was saying earlier, quick thanks to Farmskins, the main sponsor of this tournament. They've got their winter sales on, as well as just a lot of other stuff on their site, bonuses, so make sure to check out Farmskins. Thanks to them for sponsoring this tournament. And other than that, Epsilon look like they're on the verge of upsetting Na'Vi in this first map.
Yeah, let's see if they go for the force play. like they will indeed go for it. They don't want to play for overtime. They didn't want to allow Epsilon to get themselves a map point. Well, we have a moment. I'm going to go ahead and say something else. I'm going to let you guys know that there is a giveaway currently being done on this channel. All you have to do is enter and subscribe, and the prize is a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested. If you want to get yourself in, as a reminder, once again, you just have to subscribe, and it will be given away on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship #2. But right now, looks like Epsilon will be going for a really fast round. They're just committing immediately in towards B. Surreal takes one. That's the Smooya. Now it's going to be Flamey trying to get some work done with the UMP, but one, it won't be enough in this situation. Teammates already fallen all across the map as Epsilon gain control of the B bomb site, and they take themselves a 2-man advantage in the process.
And a 2v4 retake feels most impossible at this point. Robin's going to take the fight towards Heaven, struggling to connect with the shots. In the meantime, Edward has pushed close, and he does get the 1 kill. However, in comes the trade. There's just no time. And Epsilon, I think they're going to do it. They're going to steal away this first map by the looks of things. And this is just incredibly surprising. We haven't really seen Epsilon play Overpass too often, yet they've come out incredibly strong here. And I feel like this is in part due to Na'Vi underperforming at the start of the game, but you've got to give credit to Epsilon. They've also stepped up. Smooya's continued his aggression, which I really like to see. I thought he might shut it down against sort of a big-name team like Na'Vi, but he's kept it up, and it's worked really well for Epsilon.
Yeah, right now Na'Vi just seems like they've been getting out-aimed throughout the entire game. They haven't been winning out these angels like you would expect as players on this caliber, of this caliber rather, and it's just not working out for them so far, as you can see. Currently behind by 10 rounds. They will be, of course, forced to buy into this one. Yeah, at least a FAMAS and a couple of UMPs, but to try and actually back that one up, it's only an MP9 for Edward once again, and Zeus relegated down to the CZ. Right now, Epsilon playing this one safe. They know they only need one more round. They are just going to be holding back and waiting to see if Na'Vi go for any perhaps desperate plays to try and somehow bring this round in their favour. As they do seem to realise that nothing's really happening from Na'Vi. They begin to push forward. Smooya spots that one player over towards Long, and I don't think he's aware Edward is in this position, as Edward does push forward, gets himself that kill, and now should be able to upgrade towards the AK-47, and he may be able to find another, but he won't be able to connect the shots as Cosmian brings it back into an equal situation once again.
Yeah, 4v4 to play from, but Epsilon will be grouping up. And it's always awkward to play 4v4s on the CT side, because you can see they just have 2 players on A and 2 players on B. That means the rotation is quite long between the sites, and it's quite difficult to hold off against 5 players pushing towards you when you've only got 2. Having said that, a couple of kills go the way of Na'Vi, but the trades are coming back. Sack and Surreal left to try and get this win for Epsilon. 22 seconds. They look to have the B site, but they're also tentative to try and get the bomb down, and that allows Simple to go aggressive. UMP running and gunning for that second frag. Na'Vi keep themselves alive, but they are certainly still on life support.
Yeah, but Epsilon, they can still get a buyout. We see a couple of players, I believe, are a bit low on money, but they should be able to drop over all the rifles. They should even, I believe, get the AWP out into Smooya, and there you go, he is able to get that one. So, Simple not having one to work with. He'll just be on the AK, of course. He may still look to try and go for this aggressive peek, it seems. He's definitely confident on the rifle. And a nade going down from either side is going to put a bit of damage in favour of the NATUS VINCERE, the Na'Vi side, as Robin, Jack and Cosmian take a small amount from the grenades early on. And it seems like Na'Vi are happy enough with just cancelling that aggression. Now after the flashes and the nades went down, they just fell back. Surreal almost able to get that kill there onto Flamey, spamming through the monster smoke, brings them down to 36. As right now, it is just going to be Epsilon continuing on with his default, which looks to kind of focus on that control over towards the A side of the map.
Yeah, Robin going to make his way up Ector as well. Simple is going to spot through a gap in this smoke. That could be a slight mistake from Epsilon. Doesn't look like Simple is going to stick around though. He doesn't want to risk playing so close, so he decides to fall back and re-smoke himself. Either way, Simple's going to stay in towards bathrooms, and he doesn't necessarily have the support he would need. Zeus is back on the site, so if Simple were to get pushed on, he may be in trouble, but then again, this is Simple we're speaking about. He does get the 1 kill before the trade comes through. So a 1-for-1 trade early on, not awful for Na'Vi, but now Edward, looking to capitalize, also finds a frag of his own. With 35 seconds left, Epsilon are going to have to push shortly.
Yeah, they need to get a move on, and it looks like they will be forced towards the A bomb site as the bomb going towards A. Long doesn't have the time to wrap back anymore, and Edward, if he wins out this fight, it's going to be looking very dire for Epsilon indeed, but He's not going to be able to get that instantly, and now we may get overwhelmed from long. We see two players making their way up. They know Edward is in this corner. They have utility to use. The Molotov goes down. They use it perfectly, but only 10 seconds remains now, as I don't think they're going to have time anymore. They've just left it too long. Electronic just spamming away, and there we go. The bomb drops. I don't think they had time either way, but Jack is the last man standing now. Needs to make sure he stays alive and doesn't die after time. He even takes Zeus down in the process, as thankfully that smoke is down on the ground to allow him to just hide. And Navi get themselves a 7th round. 8 more needed to try and force this into overtime. And it looks like they will actually call for a pause. I'm not sure if this is another attack from Navi or if it's a technical one. But I guess if it was tactical, perhaps the fact that they have... Oh, it is tech. Okay, they have TS problems. So, yeah, it still gives them a bit of time to talk over. They're not really going to have a great buy into this round due to only living with a couple of players. So, just need to try and close this one out as Epsilon, once again, look to try and buy into this one.
Yeah, and I just feel as though with the skill that's on Epsilon, they certainly have players that could step up and win a round at any moment. If Smooya goes aggressive and just gets 1 or 2 opening picks, that alone could be enough, and Cosmine has also been performing really well. So it's going to be just such a tough ride for Na'Vi to be able to come back into this game. Having said that, they do have the buy on their side, of course. As you would expect, they are going to buy for the rest of this game. There's just no other option for them. They're 15-7 down, so it will still be a buy for them. But more importantly, it's the Epsilon side that might be in trouble if they lose this round. They could be forced back down to Eco, and that is exactly what Na'Vi needs. To make this comeback easier, forcing Epsilon down to a fair few Ecos could make the scoreline closer. So that's really the main aim for Na'Vi at this point. Make sure you break that economy, and then just play it round by round.
Yeah, but what I more meant about the economy into this round for Na'Vi is that they only won with a couple players alive in the previous round, so because of that they don't get the op out on the Simple. They are just going to be stuck still onto the rifles, and Simple, of course, he wants that to actually try and take that fight up against Smooya, because Smooya right now sitting 22-13 on the scoreboard, and he's only behind Cosmine, who's also been having a great performance. It's been mentioned a couple times that Cosmine, at the beginning at least of this lineup, he wasn't really showing exactly what everyone knew he was capable of, but right now he's stepping up massively against Na'Vi, and because of that they lead by 8 rounds. It's going to be a long road ahead for Na'Vi to try and actually get this comeback, and of course now, let's see if Epsilon are going to be able to get anything done with this force buy.
Here we go, the round finally coming into play. We did a little bit of talking about it, and Smooya, as was pointed out, is the only one with an AWP in this round. So if he can take some long-range fights, he should feel confident in being able to win them. Although Epsilon might not be 100% sure whether Na'Vi have an AWP or not. Nonetheless, Electronic might look to get aggressive, and indeed, he peeks on the back of the smoke. That's quite a nice play there, because that smoke being deployed obviously makes a sound, so he can just peek off the back of it, and I don't think the player on the other side, Robin, was expecting to be caught off guard there. He wasn't expecting a push to come in with that smoke being deployed. So a really nice little way to get the opening. And Na'Vi, again, off to a man advantage. Exactly what they would have been looking for.
Yeah, definitely. Robin getting taken down. Epsilon, they still have a lot of time to work with, at least that is a positive. They aren't going to be in too much of a rush to commit towards a bomb site. They can still try and actually work the picks. And Smooya with the op there, spotting out a player over towards the truck. To jump the second time, not going to be in the open, but as Edward once again goes for that to try and get the info, he will be taken down. And Epsilon now equalising the situation into a 4-on-4. This does tend to favour the T side. Na'Vi now are going to have to slightly thin their defence. It's going to be spread a little bit more thinly, as it is going to be 4 players to try and hold down both bomb sites, and you can see right now they are going to be just going for a fairly standard 2 towards either side, and you know, leading the way with this AWP to try and find the opening kill, and he may be able to catch Simple off guard. He spots the first player, that's Zeus. Simple though able to find a headshot and takes down Cosmine. Even drops the bomb out on A long. It's Surreal, luckily enough, does find that trade, and now Flamey returns it once again. I was going to say it's going to be a 2-on-2, but Surreal left now alone to try and clutch this one out. He goes for the fake plant, looks to try and take that fight and try and get the 1 versus 1, but he will be taken down, and Na'Vi get themselves up to 8.
Yeah, and Epsilon so far have been going fairly slowly with most of their rounds. They've been waiting until around 30 seconds left to eventually go for the pushes. This is a chance, though, to switch things up. If they want to go for some aggression, now is a round where they could certainly attempt it, because they only have pistols. They don't really have anything to lose. And here we go. We are going to head into round 24, a round that Na'Vi should be able to win quite easily. Having said that, Robin somehow wins that opening fight, down to 3 HP, but he comes out on top. In the meantime, Flamey is going to tap away for the trade, but Simple also in position with his AWP. So it looks as though Na'Vi have managed to recover the round. it's going to be a 4v2 advantage that they will almost certainly close out.
Yeah, and finally a pause being called by Epsilon. It's about time. They are letting this get a little bit closer. Once Navi gets up to about 12 or so rounds, Epsilon will really begin to get scared, and that's where the experience and just the amount of times that Navi have been in positions where they're down like this will really begin to benefit them. You can see now they get their way up to 9. Epsilon, they didn't buy into that one. They will now have the gun rounds coming out, and I think this is definitely a great time to just go for this tactical pause, talk over it, try and really get the most out of these rifles.
Yeah, we'll get to see what the buy looks like for Epsilon, because I don't think it will include an AWP, which is something that Simple has the option to play with and indeed will pick up. So we'll get to see Simple, again, with the AWP in his hands, which is, I think, what Na'Vi really do need, because Simple certainly has been stepping up in these recent rounds since he has been able to get that AWP. As you were pointing out, I think this is a good sort of time for Epsilon to take that time out. They still got 6 rounds left. They only need to win one of them to steal away Na'Vi's map pick here. And as we were saying previously, Cobblestone, we think, is the map which Epsilon would have had the highest chance of being able to win. Last time these two teams played on Cobblestone, that was only a 16-13 win for Na'Vi. So certainly chances for Epsilon in this series, but right now they need to focus on Overpass. They've lost 4 rounds in a row. Now is their chance to try and close out the win right here, right now, in this 25th round.
Yeah, and it's actually vice versa now, reversed completely from the previous round. That's going to be Simple now that has the op. Smooya going to be stuck down to the AK-47. As Epsilon into this round, there seems to be an extremely passive default. They are working quite aggressively over towards B, but the fact that they're just completely giving up mid right now gives a lot of info to Na'Vi. They're able to go aggressive, spy with no one, and that should allow now for a bit of a gamble to be sent back towards B with all the presence that they've heard. They know that a lot of the players for Epsilon are over in this position. You can see right now Epsilon just looking to try and find this opening kill. So yeah, he is the one once again leading the way. Doesn't have the op this time as mentioned before, but he does still have the AK-47, and if you're able to connect those headshots, you can still be extremely lethal. Apologies, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it's going to be a difficult one still for Epsilon. Looks like they will just try and execute towards the B-bomb site, something we haven't really seen so far throughout this game. It's immediately not really going to be going in their favour. Electronic gets one, able to take down a second before eventually falling. Now it's actually Flamey to get that one, as Electronic does still remain, already has fallen rather, but Flamey was the one to take that second kill, and the bomb now should be going down. 3 on 3, and actually Na'Vi in really good position. They already have a player down in the pit. They haven't actually been completely backed off at his site, and you can see because of this Epsilon, they're kind of forced into taking these fights. Smooya gets himself one onto Edward, and he looks to continue trying to actually get these, and that's a bit of a mistake perhaps. Gives that kill away to Zeus. And now in a 2-on-2, this retake getting a little bit easier for Na'Vi. They still have some utility remaining. Smoke placed down nicely on the bomb. Hits the flick on towards Robin. He won't get the second on the Cosmian though. And with Zeus being low HP and the time beginning to tick away, this gets very, very difficult. As it may be finally the 16th round for Epsilon, and it is indeed going to be Cosmian. He closes that one out, and we will now be going back to the analyst desk.
What an upset here from Epsilon, winning 16-9 in the end on Overpass. Really, really well played by Epsilon. Congrats to them. They take first map in this best of 3 in quarterfinals, and they're 1 map away of semi-finals. Congrats to Smooya and co. Unfortunately for Na'Vi, they're now one map down. It was their map pick as well. Last time they met on Cobble, it was really close, so anything can happen. It would be really weird to see Epsilon 2-0 Na'Vi here in quarterfinals, but as we all know, it's pretty much that state of CS that anyone can win against anyone right now. So pretty good match overall, Danny. Looking at the start, Epsilon not giving Na'Vi any freedom to do what they really want to do, to get that AWP on Simple, let him try and get some early frags, so they're in advantage from the start. Basically, Smooya, once again, I liked what Hoka said. Basically, he kept his confidence. It was like he was playing once again against some tier 2, tier 3 teams, and he was still performing quite well. I mean, all players from Epsilon stepping up there. But what happened to Na'Vi? What went wrong?
Well, it's not just that Epsilon didn't give enough freedom to Na'Vi, but they didn't show too much respect. Like yesterday, Maison Hot showing so much respect against Mousesports, and that's why they lost so so quite convincingly. But still, it's quite impressive that Epsilon played so aggressive in the first half. We've seen Cosmin pushing with P250 through mid, through connector all the way up the ladders. And sadly for him, he managed to miss that quite easy shot on, I think it was Edward, but it doesn't even matter. Then all the way he pushed on long, but Simple was already there watching for him. Still, it's really nice, their playstyle. Cosmin, Surreal, even Zach this time, even though he was lacking of performance in the previous matchups, this time he did a great job, even though Robin was the bottom fragger, but still he had some really important rounds. He was like a supporter in his team with 7 or 8 assists, but overall it's a great job.
Yeah, it all came down to aim duels. It wasn't like Epsilon outplaying Navi in a manner that they are faking them, then getting into a sites with one man on the site and so on and so on. It was all aim duels from Smuja, from Cosmin, everyone, Zach, Surreal, everyone wanted to take those aim duels. They were not afraid. And maybe that's why that confidence coming in for Epsilon is why they won against Navi, or maybe they just prepared good enough for their overpass, expected overpass as first pick, because they played Inferno last time. Maybe they expected that Navi will not pick Inferno once again. That will let Epsilon, of course, to prepare on their mistakes, to see what they did wrong and prepare for Navi on Inferno. But seems like they are prepared for overpass as well, even though, as I said, it wasn't really tactical wise. But really well played. I'm actually amazed at how well they played. This could have been over like at 16-5 at one point, but Navi managed to scramble a couple of rounds in a row there. But it wasn't enough for them to come back and win the match.
I still think that Navi is much better on their T side, on their city side, because they played a better second half than the first one, and if they didn't lose the first half 11-4, maybe let's say 8-7 for Epsilon, they still could have more chances to win this match, but still.
Yeah, of course, but they got pretty much...
They got out-fragged in the first half.
Yeah, out-fragged.
Basically.
I would agree. I think that was probably the word for the first half. That will be it for this first map of Navi versus Epsilon. Quarterfinals of Farmskins Championship, also qualifier for IEM. We are going for a short commercial break, but before we go for a break, I just want to remind our viewers that Farmskins.com has currently winter sales, and you can get cases on 90% off, and you can get yourself really nice skin. And of course, while we go into break, you can grab sodas, you can grab your forks, pitchforks, ready to go for a second map. And second map is Cobalt between Navi and Epsilon. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to the analyst desk of Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. 16 teams fought their way through GSL format group stage, and they're now in the playoffs. 4 of them advanced through Group A, B, C, and D, and 4 were invited for this playoff, of course. And so far, teams that played in groups are far better than we expected. Avangard moving forward. Only invited team actually currently that went through the playoff to semifinal was Mousesports. But who knows, maybe Navi can bring it back towards that third map, winning Cobble, then whoops, chicken goes away. Winning Cobble and then maybe win on Inferno as well. But Epsilon quite strong for now. Second map is Cobble. And of course, it's pretty interesting map. But before we go into analysis of that map, I just want to remind our viewers that we currently have giveaway going on here on eFrag TV. You just need to subscribe, and you're already participating in the giveaway. You can win Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested, as you can see right here. And winner will be drawn on Sunday after grand final match of Farmskins Championship 2. We'll find out who is going to IEM, and we'll find out who won Flip Knife Blue Steel. Kind of same achievement, right? Yeah. Of course, let's get into the second map. Second map is Cobble. Looking at previous result, Navi won 16-13, so it was a really close match. Couple of rounds maybe that decided that map in favor of Navi. But Epsilon, after winning that first map, they have momentum now. They have everything they need. They played already Navi on Cobble. They maybe fixed their mistakes. And what do you think? Can Epsilon make a big upset here and win this 2-0?
Yes, I think so. They should probably start on City side, because if Cosmin, Surreal, and Smuja started again so hard like they did against QB-Fire and Sprout, it could cause many problems for Navi. Especially, it can break their self-confidence, and in the second half, when Navi starts on their City side, there could be a lot of problems in their communication and everything. And still, Zeus, he had, I think, 7 frags on the previous map, and we know he's not performing really well in the past couple of, let's say, weeks or months, even though in Major he was a bit lacking of performance, but still. So that's an advantage for Epsilon. I think they have what it takes to win on Cobblestone and win whole matchup 2-0.
Yeah, even Flamey had underwhelming game on Overpass as well. He wasn't that anchor on B side that we usually see from him. Like he was unstoppable at Major. Don't know what happens. He maybe just playing against Epsilon doesn't suit him very well, but hopefully he can bounce back on Cobble and we see Flamey in his full prime. Also, Simple, I think he didn't have that much of a impact, I would say. Yeah, though he had quite important kills towards the end of the match, but it was all over at that point. Like, I think they need him more early to be awoken, to try and go and find some frags with AWP or even AK if he can't avoid it, because he's a good rifler as well. Not to take anything away from Simple, even though, yeah, everything was working out for Epsilon. Timings, duels, everything they took, it was all in Epsilon's favor. But things can change, of course, on Cobble, especially if Navi gets a fast start. I would say if they get a lead like 5-0, if they win first full buy round and so, that they can probably take the map out of Epsilon. Just don't let them be that free as they were on Overpass. But who knows? I mean, when it comes to Cobble, we usually see Simple towards B side with AWP. Smuja can threat him a lot as well, because as we saw previous on Overpass, he was a monster once again for Epsilon. Do you think that maybe that AWP battle can kind of, I don't know, decide who's going to take this map?
Yeah, it can decide, but still, if Zach and Robin don't perform once again like they did on Overpass, it will cause problems, because we're not that used to Zach and Robin being top fraggers for Epsilon. It was always that trio, Cosmin, Surreal and Smoya. So basically, you're always going to see those three guys on top of the scoreboard. But still, the Smoya, you can see him everywhere. You can see him one round watching A long. The second round, he's somewhere watching middle. Third round, he's on B plateau. So he's like everywhere, and that's quite unpredictable for Navi to watch. And Simple is good upper, but still, I feel like he needed that AWP on overpass a bit earlier. He just wanted to get some kills with AWP, but that was quite embarrassing for him because they were losing 5-0, and maybe he got nervous or something. But yeah, still, he's a good rifler as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Navi can bounce back now on Cobble. Definitely they need a strong start after that kind of a performance on Overpass. Seems like we are soon ready to go live, so we are going to start with predictions. It wasn't going our way on first map. We both said Navi.
Yeah.
But
this time, I would say Epsilon winning this one, just because of that momentum and everything. All 5 players stepping up. I will say 16-13 in their favor now.
yeah, so then he said a previous map that Navi is going to win, Epsilon won. Now he said Epsilon is going to win. Maybe Navi win and maybe he's cursed. We are ready to go live, of course, into the second map of this best of 3. Our casters that will bring you the action are Dean and Hoka.
Thank you once again, guys. Welcome back for the second map of who are now known as Navi.gg.bet up against Epsilon. So that's going to be a mouthful to say every time, but that is now their new name, so we will be going with that one. But yeah, we're in the knife round currently. It is going to be once again myself alongside Hawk to bring you the action.
Yeah, my question is, do we say Navi.gg.bet every time, or just Navi.gg.bet? Because those dots in there really make it a bit of a tongue twister.
A little bit. I don't think it's a tongue twister. It just makes it a little bit more awkward to say. Perhaps you're trying to cast a fast-paced round and you take half of the time saying their name. But yeah, it is going to be now going live into the game either way. Looks like it will be Navi on the CT side, Navi.gg.bet. Apologies on the CT side, and Epsilon over on the terrorist side. As now the countdown has begun and we will be getting into the action. I mentioned previously that I think Epsilon should be able to take, or if they had a chance to take a map, it would be Cobblestone. And after that performance on Overpass right now, Epsilon looking really solid, and I'm looking forward to seeing what way this map is going to go.
Yeah, I think prior to this series starting, I would have said that this is a map where Navi are maybe sort of 60/40 favorites, maybe 55/45, but it would have been a close map. However, looking at how Overpass went, yeah, Epsilon could certainly steal this one away. And we'll get to see if they can do just that as we head into the pistol. As always for Epsilon, the P250 is dropped for Smoya. That certainly has a fairly big upside. You kind of saw in the previous map that P250 can get one-shot headshots at very long range against players without the helmets. And I think that's exactly what Smoya will be looking for. He'll be willing to take the long-range fights. And that's something that Navi might not expect as we see the push come out quickly towards A.
Yeah, Zeus was able to get that info early on and fall back towards the bomb site where he is going to be trying to just take himself that fight. Smoya able to get one, as is Robin with the Glock, and Electronic Fallen now gives a good opportunity for Epsilon to take over this bomb site, but Edward pushes forward, gets himself the kill onto Robin. And now Chak is going to be the last man left to try and clutch this one out in a 1-on-2. It's going to be difficult. He is on the bomb site and he has been spotted. Simple with a nice shot there. Clears that angle perfectly, flicks up and takes the headshot. And it will be Navi.gg.bet to take themselves the pistol round.
There we go. They managed to get the job done. Simple got a rapid-fire headshot there for the final frag. And if he can have a little bit of a better performance, that will certainly be, I think, quite important for Navi.gg.bet. I think it's also worth pointing out, I'm calling out Simple there. It's not like he had a bad game in the first map. He certainly did all right. I think he ended with about the same kills and deaths. It's just by Simple standards. He's one of the best players in the world. You obviously expect him to show up massively. So certainly don't want to call out Simple too hard. He's a very, very talented player. And yeah, if he can lead the way for the Navi.gg.bet side, that will be exactly the way for them to come back. Ooh, a little bit of love given there over towards Zeus from Flamey. Takes him down to 93 HP. Not a massive issue, though, because Epsilon have minimal investment.
Yeah, just 5 P250s into this one, so they at least have some sort of weaponry to try and get a few kills. Their goal right now is just try and get the bomb plant if possible, try and get a couple kills out of this one and drop some of the rifles, as Navi.gg.bet have actually gone for a fairly heavy rifle buy. They've gone for 3 M4s, they've gone for 2 UMPs, and not really a lot of utility, so they'll be opting on just trying to actually hit their shots into this one. And so far it's going quite well. Zeus, they'll be able to find at least one. Receives a dink, and he is smart enough to just fall back off, and because of that, Shaq's trying to chase down the kill. Will walk immediately rather into the crosshair of Edward. And now it's all on to Smoothie. He was trying to lurk in towards Connector, but his teammates had no success. He gets himself 1 kill at least. We'll be able to take down Electronic and retrieve a UMP, but with 4 more to find, it's not really looking very likely. There is one player on low HP. He gets the spray down onto Edward also, and with the P250 out now, more damage being connected onto the Flamey. You're doing a good job right now. Unlikely still that you can win the round, but if you can get 1 or 2 more kills out of this, that would be a lot of damage connected. But it won't really work out. Flamey closes that one down, and it is going to be the first 2 rounds gone in favor of the Ukrainian side.
And there we go. As you would expect, they clean up the round quite easily. A 2-0 lead early on, but here comes the buy from Epsilon. I think it is also worth pointing out, you saw there in the towards the end of Overpass, the Ukrainian team certainly had a much better performance on their CT side. And I think their CT side in general should be pretty set with how many skill players they have. You would expect them to be able to hold their spots quite easily, but we'll have to see if heading into the T side of Cobblestone, a little bit more of a T-sided map, a bit more of an open map, we'll get to see if maybe they can have a little bit of a better showing, because their T-side back on Overpass was a big issue. Either way, it's just going to be 5 rifles for both teams. A classic M4 versus AK buy. None of those fancy AWPs here to play with into this round 3. And Simple going to get aggressive, but he gets tagged early on. In the meantime, Epsilon have 3 players out towards A long, and Zeus could be in trouble. That incendiary, though, slows things down. That's actually a perfectly timed incendiary. It cuts off the Epsilon side and allows him to isolate that 1v1 fight for the man advantage.
Yeah, great work by the CT side to find that opening kill. Robin was just completely cut off, had no chance to get the trade, and now Epsilon trying to at least get this kill back in their favor. Nice usage of utility, but they won't be able to find it. So yeah, there we go. He's able to get that first onto Electronic as they come up the ramp. It's costly in terms of the HP. There will still be 2 players waiting on the bomb site, and he's actually back towards the corner. Zeus on low HP. Flamey going to be able to find one, but it is going to be traded back in favor of Epsilon. They take themselves the 1-man advantage, and that leaves it all onto Edward and Simple, but Edward, he gets eliminated off the server, deleted as the headshot comes in by Cosmian, and now Simple's left to try and clutch this one out. If you could choose any player to be left in this clutch situation, you would have chose Simple, but you wouldn't have really got your money out of that one, as he does end up falling, and Epsilon claim themselves the first gun round.
Yeah, look at what that means for the CT economy. They are down in the dumps. And considering they only have the 1-round loss bonus built up, they have to go for the force buy. 1 eco would not be enough. So this is a full-on investment from Navi GG Bet, and yet they don't really have a whole lot to show for it. Having said that, smoke's going to come out towards B plat, and Simple trying to get aggressive, but he's just going to get spammed through that smoke. I believe Epsilon should have also heard him taking a little bit of damage from that Molotov there, so that's why they just decided to go for the spam, and that made it a very easy opening kill.
Yeah, a very, very nice find there by Cosmian to start that one off. Smoothie though, walking out, actually does end up getting taken down. The Molotov not really going to be covering him, of course wasn't a wall. We saw that kill then going in favor of Flamey as we're brought back into a 4-on-4, but Epsilon of course still have the much stronger buy into this round. They will be happy enough with still having the 4-on-4. They can just try and group up later into the round and try and go towards one of the bomb sites and overwhelm the opponents. But Surreal finds at least one. Will be traded up by Edward, luckily enough. It could have got dangerous as Electronic had his back exposed to that position. But the trade will be found and now a rifle will be picked up as over towards A right now, Epsilon. They look to try and commit towards this bomb site, and it is going to be Electronic in position. He's going to be holding down, waiting to see what he can get done. That's the CZ. Molotov on the bomb site though is going to force him above, where he is going to be able to take down at least 1 player. Traded out once again by Robin though means the 2-on-2 now will be ensuing, as it's going to be a difficult retake once this bomb goes down, since there is no defuse kit. And Edward, he looks to try and push forward. It's not going to work out, and Cosmian once again steps it up with a massive double headshot and closes that one out as Epsilon equalise the scoreline. And Navi GG.bet now, their economy isn't going to be enough for them to get a buy. They're averaging about 2,000, so likely just going to be a full eco coming into this one.
Yeah, Cosmian, I think, has really been the missing link for Epsilon. I always said that I feel like he can be that 2nd-star player, and he's starting to really prove it here. Really starting to hit his form in these recent matches, and that's great to see for Epsilon. They get it back to a 2-2 scoreline, and with the CT side only having 1 CZ for this round, shouldn't really be getting too much done. There goes Cosmian again, looking confident, although he doesn't quite get the kill on towards Flamey, who survives on 10 points of health. In the meantime, though, Epsilon currently have the bomb positioned over towards A, and just Cosmine peeking out towards Plat has caused a full-on B stack. So that might work out for Epsilon if they do pull the trigger on the A site push, and in goes Surreal, getting the first kill. Against the Pistols, they do make it look easy.
Yeah, as it should be. There's not really much to actually try and shut them down other than the CC in the hands of Edward, which has already been taken off the server. Cosmine once again going to be able to close it out with a double kill as Epsilon claim themselves the lead. And now Navi getting back, Navi GG.bet getting back onto the buy now. They will have the rifles, they will have a decent amount of utility to work with, but they don't have an AWP. As Smooya does, and Surreal even keeping that Mach 10 into this round is going to be quite dangerous because we see 4 players without a helmet for the Navi side.
Yeah, also no defuse kit for the CTs to play with. And that means that if Epsilon can crack a bomb site, that makes things a little awkward for the mostly Ukrainian team. Either way, we are going to see in the start of the round both teams sitting back fairly passively. Smuga just seeing if he can maybe get an opening in towards mid, but it doesn't seem likely. The only player really pushed up is Zeus out towards A long, but Smuya would have to commit to a peek, and without any support, that's unlikely. So I don't expect Smuya to be getting an entry early on. Even though he's going aggressive now, you can see the CTs playing back from the site, and here comes a push down drop. The Mach 10 tries to get up close, and does do a bit of damage, but still no kills early on.
Yeah, but look at this, Cosmine. Look how aggressive he's getting. He tries to push out to find that kill onto Simple. He had just enough bullets left to actually be able to take that one down and survive on 5 points of HP. So it will be the advantage gone in favor of the CT side. The Ukrainians are able to get themselves a one-man advantage slightly, and because of that Epsilon, it looks like they do just want to try and make their way back over towards A. They actually leave one player towards B. I believe that is Surreal with the Mach 10 to try and cut off the rotates. But the rest of the players with the rifles and the AWP will group up and try and find something towards the A bomb site. As Smooya with the op, he will be looking to try and find the opening spot. So Zeus, and actually Zeus continuing the face will end up getting taken down. Not really ideal right now as Epsilon making their way onto the bomb site where currently only one player awaits, and that's going to be Flame. He gets at least one, but in a position where the trade is quite possible and not really too difficult. Smooya will find it. He will now be kind of forced to slow it down because we see the players from the balcony just been able to stop the cross, and right now Epsilon running extremely low on time. This is getting difficult. All onto Smooya in a 1-on-3. He's unable to find one more before he ends up being taken down. Low HP on the 2 remaining players for Navi GG.bet, but still in the end it is going to be going in their favour.
Yeah, Smooya was the man to get the 3k for Epsilon there, but no one else able to chime in with a kill, even though they came close. So heading into round 7, we get to see a buy for both sides, but it's actually the CTs that have the slightly worse buy, with Edward stuck down to a CZ. Having said that, they've still got the nade, so certainly not a massive issue. There are a couple of positions you can choose to play with that CZ. If you just kind of play close around the corner, there's not too much the Ts can do about it. Nonetheless, even scoreline and a very important gun round. If you take a quick look at the money, neither side really has any cash built up. So the loser will almost certainly be forced down to just pistols. And we'll get to see who can win this all-important gun round. As Smooya with the AWP looks to try and get a pick. The timing is so good, and Smooya will give his team the man advantage.
Yeah, nice find by Smooya there to get that one. Epsilon, after getting that, it looks like they will maybe just try and get some control instead over towards B. They also have full control of A long right now, so Navi, with both the man disadvantage and not really having any map control to work with, it's not looking too great. We see an aggressive push at least coming in from Zeus, but he will be taken down by Robin now, allowing for this A bomb site to be at least pushed a little bit more forward by the terrorist side, as we actually see a good position for the player down on ramp. I believe that's Electronic. He could maybe cut some of these players off, and he may even hear the footsteps going back towards B, but Surreal might find onto Simple, and then the B bomb site is going to be up for the taking, and the bomb plant should be coming in.
There we go, Epsilon open up the B site. And there we go, Cosmine also gets another frag to make it even easier. Surreal getting the final kill. Even though the team flash came through, Surreal already had the frag before that came relevant. And now you can see, again, Navi GG.bet gonna have almost no money for this round, as we were pointing out. And I've just realized, Dean, if we want to, you know, I see chat a little bit annoyed with how we're saying Navi GG.bet. If chat really wants to, I could say NATUS VINCERE.gg.bet every time. Do you think they like that more?
Spell out the DOT.
Oh, that's a bit too much. Oh, Simple. Does get that first kill with the D. gonna say, I was having a little bit of fun there because I thought this round wouldn't really show anything for Na'Vi, but Simple gets the second headshot. And well, I guess I've been proven wrong. Simple certainly doing the damage. Oh my goodness, 3 kills for Simple. He's now down to 1 HP. I wouldn't expect him to get any more, but Smooya gets a team kill. Oh boy, this has gone awfully wrong for Epsilon. And unless Smooya clutches this 1v4, it's just awful, isn't it? That's
yeah, that's definitely going to be on Reddit. Definitely. Yeah, just Epsilon around that we probably should have seen them taken 9 out of 10 times. They end up losing it thanks to Simple stepping it up massively, and then Surreal kind of just running in the way of Smooya as he tried to get the trade. So Epsilon, luckily enough, they will actually still be able to buy into this one. They do still have a decent amount of economy, which allows for the 4 rifles and a CZ to come out, but it's not as good as the buy now for Na'Vi. Or rather, Na'Vi GG bet, as it is going to be Epsilon just looking to try and favour over towards this A bomb site, but a similar setup for the Ukrainian side. We have 3 players in position to try and hold this one down, and Edward now in a good spot to try and shut down Smooya in towards middle. We don't get the kill quite yet, a small bit of damage is being connected, and Epsilon, they just stick together to ensure that they will find this, and it will be Smooya to open it up now as Edward falls, and Epsilon claim themselves a man advantage, and Surreal may be able to increase that even further, but they likely won't expect another player in this position. Zeus, such a good spot, as he gets the double spray down. Well, Robin and Surreal drop, and now the situation's been equalized in terms of the manpower.
There we go, Zeus making the play. Almost reminiscent of that C's clip where he was boosted up in a somewhat similar position, but this time Zeus manages to get both of the kills into a 3 versus 3, and Smooya, I thought was going to go up to tree. Now he decides to do so. Oh, he gets the 1 kill, but the trade was very, very quick. So it's back to a 2v2. However, that distraction allows the bomb to go down on the site. Makes the retake a little bit more difficult for the CTs.
Certainly. They do have a defuse kit at least onto Electronic, but as Cosmian finds himself that kill, that means it's all going to be onto Zeus to try and clutch this one out. Already has 2 kills. Needs to try and double it, and it's not going to be easy at all. Has the Molotov, though, to try and force the player off the bomb site, but Cosmian, he just pushes back further instead. Make sure that you won't be getting taken down instantly, but Zeus eventually finds that one. And now it's Chak all alone, trying to ensure that Epsilon will be able to take this round. No defuse kit currently picked up by Zeus. And I believe the closest one is actually all the way over towards the door, and because of that he will just begin to back off. And in the process he will actually get taken down. So Epsilon instantly returning it. They're getting themselves up to 5 and reclaiming the lead. As now it looks like the buy will once again at least come in for the CT side. And Epsilon themselves don't have a great one coming into this. We can see their money is not really going to allow for all the rifles. Then we'll see a Mac 10 once again coming out for Surreal.
Yeah, and Sak finally gets his first kill here on Cobblestone, but it was a very important one at that to close out that clutch. And now, as you were saying, not the best of buys for the CT side. Having said that, the shotgun is going to be boosted up towards drop. Electronic could take damage from this nade, down to 67 HP early on. However, I'm not sure if he will be able to get too much done. There goes Smooya. Very quick reactions on the fading smoke, and Flamey out in the open will go down first. That's one of the rifles already lost, and now Zeus has to try and hold on to A. He's only good for the 1 frag, and Smooya finds another trade. Very, very nicely done from Epsilon to get those trades so quickly and overwhelm the A site.
Yeah, and once again, it's just going to come down to the retake most likely. We see that there is actually one player up towards the balcony. That's Simple with the Desert Eagle. And we know what damage he can get done with this weapon. We've already seen it in this half, and Epsilon just being cautious now will be able to make their way onto the bomb site. And with the bomb plant coming down and no defuse kit for the CT side, unless Electronic can get a lot done from mid and do so quite fast, then likely Epsilon are going to be able to take this one for themselves. So let's see what happens now. Simple, hoping that some mistakes will be made, hoping he can try and find something to open this one up, and he actually is able to. He takes down Smooya towards middle. Was expecting that kill to go in favour of Electronic, but now Chak up close, in a way, will eventually get him get that one for himself, as Electronic, realising that this round is all but done, will just try and now actually save this AK into the following.
And there we go, Epsilon going to be able to keep on winning the gun rounds. And remember, Na'Vi GG bet managed to win the pistol, and they've only won 2 gun rounds since. So Epsilon looking in quite good shape. And I was also saying previously, I feel like the CTs here probably need to get most of their work done on this side, because their T side back on Overpass was quite poor. They either need to improve that or have a good CT showing. And, well, right now the CT performance isn't looking up to snuff. They're down 6-4, and they're also down in terms of the economy, but they have gone for the force buy. 1 AK for Electronic, The rest of the players on slightly lackluster weapons. However, as we saw previously, Simple can certainly make the difference with any weapon. So we'll get to see if there's still a chance for them in this round.
Yeah, they don't really have too much weaponry to actually try and work with. So let's see what they're going to be able to find. As right now, Epsilon looks like they are going to be going for a fairly passive default. The boost coming in by Smooya may be able to find some aggressive pushes. As you see, I believe that is over towards the platform. Just Simple being a little bit of a daredevil, jumping back and forth. I'll just back off now and play a bit more passive, but he's looking to try and jump up with a UMP. Perhaps not the best weapon to try and face this with. The flash goes down though to allow for him to at least take that peek, and luckily enough, Smooya does not connect it. So Simple getting himself a bit of info, realizing that the op is in this position, but Smooya ends up eventually finding himself that kill. Electronic looking to try and now get the work done from the bomb site, as he's only able to find a single. Now it is going to be Epsilon just making their way into that B bomb site for free. We see over towards Connector, Flamey and Zeus, they're cut off from the bomb site. And also we see Edward looking to try and go for an extremely long flank around through the B halls, as right now Zeus spots out Jack in towards Dropper. If he finds this, perhaps there would be a chance. If he finds this one and gets himself the rifle even, it could be looking a little bit awkward for Epsilon. And there we go, Zeus eventually gets that kill, but over in the B halls now, some kills looking to be going back in favour of Epsilon, as Surreal spamming through the door even manages to take down Flamey. So they should now be Epsilon getting themselves a 7th round, as Zeus just looking to try and maybe save this AK.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be able to do so, though, because Surreal is coming, and the one shot is all he needs. Epsilon keep their round wins going. 7-4, with the CTs, again, not really having the money. And while we have a weak buy for the CT side, shouldn't be too much going on in this round. I want to quickly shout out the giveaway we currently have running here on eFrag. The giveaway is for a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested, and to enter you just have to subscribe on Twitch. It also helps us out, and you can see we're trying to make good things happen. We've got the HUD going, we've got the desk, so if you appreciate us, make sure to sub, you can help us out and have the chance of winning that knife, which will be drawn on Sunday. Either way, back into the action where Smooya's got the first kill.
Yeah, Flamey, he was playing up close, didn't really work out. He did get the dink actually onto Smooya, but it wasn't enough to get the kill, and either way, even if he got that one, likely the trade would have come in. So right now Epsilon just looking to try and commit to the A bomb site, it seems, but with only 3 players, if they're to lose out some of these aim duels, it could get a little bit dangerous. Luckily enough, Robin, he is going to be able to drop Zeus. Electronic over in the balcony position is going to take a lot of damage from that grenade. Now Epsilon with full control of the A bomb site and the bomb getting planted. This is likely really going to be a for Navi, and there we go, another nade goes in. Electronic has no chance at all to survive there. We see even the spam, so if he managed to escape the radius of the nade, likely the rifle would have taken him down. And now it's only Edward that remains. He is going to be pushing out through mid, maybe able to perhaps get the flank and take a couple of kills out of this one and try and at least cause some damage to the economy of Epsilon. But likely now Epsilon will be taking that 8-4 lead.
Yeah, no time for any sort of defuse to happen. Epsilon will get themselves up to that 4-round lead. They've got double the rounds of Na'Vi right now. And here comes the buy. You can see M4s on the side, except for Flamey, who goes for the AWP. That's somewhat surprising. Going for it without the Kevlar. I guess it's not a bad idea to take that risk. Flamey is certainly okay with the AWP. However, we'll have to see what he can get done in this round. Epsilon have been taking most of these rounds slowly so far. However, this time they do have 4 players grouped out towards B flat, so we might see some early aggression. Having said that, a couple of smokes have already gone up, so I don't think Epsilon will want to go through the smoke unless they have the flashes lined up. And it looks like everyone is here, so Epsilon might just go for this quick B play. Indeed, the push coming out. Simple going to get the first kill, repositions for the second. It's 3 for Simple, and that is pretty much the round 1. Robin is eventually going to get 1 kill back, but it's just not enough for Epsilon.
Yeah, I like the idea of the change in pace by Epsilon. They tried to swap it up. We've seen a pretty slow style so far that has really just focused on taking the map control. They attempted to maybe try and catch Navi off guard into that gun round, but it just didn't really work out. We saw, I believe, both Simple and Edward were able to step it up for a double kill, and Electronic was the one to close it out. So they won't take that one, but they will, of course, still have the money to buy. They will be able to get the op out for Smooya, and they even have the 4 rifles for the others with all the utility that they could ever require. As right now, looks like they will just go back to that default. The fast round didn't work, and why fix it if it ain't broken?
Exactly. Into round 14, Epsilon going to have Smooya with that. Oh, he's not been able to get too many openings on this T side. He hasn't really been as aggressive, I don't think. It seems like a lot of Smooya's aggression comes on the CT side with that AWP. Nonetheless, the smokers come in towards drop, so that will work quite well for Epsilon. However, Smooya took a nade down to half HP. Could be a bit of an issue for him early on. Zeus is playing this angle. You don't see players play his position often because it can quite easily be spammed through the door. Having said that, he is now going to fall back, but in the meantime, Flamey is down to 20 HP, so both Orcas take some damage early on.
Yeah, interesting that Flamey's the one on the AWP. Bit of a strange pickup, not normally what you'd see. Usually it would be simple. Flamey, I believe, has become the secondary upper for the Navi GG bet lineup, but still, you wouldn't usually expect him to take that over simple. I guess being low HP, that is the idea behind it. When I go with the Bogdan law. But yeah, right now, Epsilon, only 30 seconds remaining, and they have to make a decision about where they want to bring this one. And it looks like the choice is going to be to just go back towards the B bomb site. Right now, though, Simple, he's going to be ready to try and hold this one down once again. And he does have support. He also has the ability to use. Molotov goes down with the perfect timing to cut Robin off from his teammates. And that allows for Simple to just shut this one down with ease. Almost gets the hat trick, but it'll be Edward instead. Take himself a double also, as Smoothie will be the last man standing. And he's going to be taken down by Edward, who ends that with 3 kills.
Yeah, Navi GG Bet finally starting to find some form towards the end of the half. And overall, they've already got 6 rounds on the board, and it will likely be 7, considering they're only up against pistols. So, all things considered, if they get 7 rounds, I think they'll be fairly happy with that. But again, I do want to see them have a slightly better T side. I think the main thing is that back on Overpass, so many of the rounds were played very, very slowly. It maybe became a little bit predictable. So I don't know if that's Zeus making the calls, but I would like to see a couple of faster rounds thrown into the mix heading into Navi GG Bet's T side. Having said that, they still need to close out this last round of their CT side up against the pistols. And we are going to see Epsilon all grouped up around A, lining up this push.
Yeah, the rifles at the longer range should have advantages, but as I said, Surreal is going to be the one to open it up. He loses a lot of HP in the process, but down to 19 now, the AK perhaps won't be as useful as he would hope. And look at this by Electronic, pushes immediately out through the door. Not going to be allowing for Epsilon to try and get onto the bomb site. He's instead going to push forward, and he takes 2 kills and a lot of damage in the process. As now, Navi GG Bet rather, left in a 2-on-3. HP slightly in favour of Epsilon overall, as Flamey also down to 24, but Robin and Surreal aren't really looking so healthy. Shaq gets the bomb down at least, as now it will finally be Navi looking to have to go for this retake. No option of a save, of course. It is the final round of the first half, and there we go. More damage being done. Flamey with the up. Able to tag Chak down through the wall, and Robin up close will finally get himself that headshot. And now it's going to be all onto Simple. If I was to choose any man on this Navi lineup to try and actually clutch this one out, it would indeed be Simple. And let's see what he's going to be able to find. But walking immediately into a crossfire, Chak should have had that trade, but played it a little bit too safe. Didn't find the kill instantly. Luckily enough, he will be able to find the headshot towards the end, as it is going to be Epsilon to actually manage to pull off the upset in that round with the pistols and take themselves the 9-6 half.
Yeah, Epsilon, I think, will be the happier of the 2 teams. Something I quickly want to point out while we have a little bit of a break in the halftime, though, is that Epsilon on their CT side pistol, I think almost every time I've seen them play that setup in towards connector, where they have that boost going on towards the sort of back of connector, and they wait to see if any quick push comes in towards con, down drop to try and split on towards that A site. So if Navi have done their homework, they might just want to go quickly on towards B, where sometimes Epsilon only have sort of 1 or 2 defenders early into the round. Either way, we'll wait and see if Epsilon do go for that stack I was talking about, but it seems like Epsilon quite often do like to play sort of 3 players in connector with a boost at the start of the round.
Yeah, I believe they actually done it against Navi when they played on this map, I think it was just about a week ago, so they should definitely be aware of it if Epsilon do go for that once again. I'd presume that they may try and change it up a small amount, but I guess we'll find out. But while we have a moment, I am just going to go ahead and remind everyone that this tournament is, of course, brought to you by Farmskins, so if you want to go ahead and try and get yourself some nice drops, head on over to farmskins.com. But we should be getting back into the action now any moment. For some reason, Smoothie is having some technical issues. Apparently, he's capped at 100 FPS, and he is just trying to fix that one. So hopefully he won't be too long. Perhaps an Xbox DVR issue. I'm not quite sure.
Ooh. Is that Ek Assistant Dean there? Trying to help Smoothie out?
Maybe. I'd presume it's an Xbox DVR issue, but I'd also presume someone who plays this level of CS should already have that turned off.
Exactly. You'd think so. You never know. We'll hopefully we'll get that all sorted out shortly. However, yeah, as we were saying, I'm interested to see what we see from the Navi GG Bet side on their T side here. As I've kind of been pointing out, it was quite lackluster on Overpass. I'm not sure exactly why, though. Like, it kind of felt like in a couple of the early rounds, they were trying to make individual plays and just nothing came off for them. And then it almost seemed like they lost their confidence, which I really wouldn't expect when they're playing against Epsilon. They should be feeling quite confident that they can win a fair few aim fights. But it almost seemed like they started really slowing things down. No one seemed to be trying to get those aggressive peaks to go their way. So hopefully now that their mindset is a little bit sort of reset, they will be good to make those aggressive plays again, as we will finally be heading underway into the second half.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty important pistol round, especially for Na'Vi to pick up. We've seen so far Epsilon, when they're able to get that momentum in their favor, they can be quite difficult to stop. I don't know whether that's completely up to Epsilon just being a good team once they get the momentum rolling, or if it's that kind of thing that's been noticed for Na'Vi. If they don't get a good start, their stars, they kind of struggle to get themselves back into the game.
Oh, intruder alert. Coach, join the server. We're fine though. He's not dropped anything. We're all good.
It's a nice view,
Should
though.
be good to go. Oh yeah, he's just bent over, ready to pick something up off the floor, pick up the soap. It's
Maybe.
There's not even a shower around.
There's a gun beside him. Perhaps it was a... Maybe this is the board game where you have to find out who committed the murder.
Cluedo?
Yeah, Cluedo, that's what it's called.
Pretty good game.
Maybe
Seems to
that's
spot
what
a
the
molly,
pause
by
is
the
on
way.
they're discussing. Has he? Okay. Wonder what that'll be used towards. They don't have a smoke though, so a Molotov. Where would this be going towards?
Yeah, exactly. I understand on like Mirage, if you're going out towards mid, you kind of want to get the molly in towards window. You see that sometimes, but I don't know exactly where that would go on cobblestone, unless maybe you wanted it for the post plants. But you can see Zach has a smoke on the CT side. So here we go. Na'Vi going to lean towards A at the start, and Smooya is spotted out, and he could be in trouble now. But it looks like he might just be able to fall back. Indeed, he gets back to safety, but he's still alone on A.
Nice find there by Simple though. Gonna be able to drop Cosme in as he looks to try and get aggressive over on B. Surreal will luckily enough be able to return that one, as now it goes back into a 4-on-4, and looks like Na'Vi will actually try and make their way back over towards the B-bomb site instead. They are just going to group up. They've made some steps making their way through the halls, and with a player in connector they may have been heard, but currently they are just going to go ahead on the CT side and send another player over towards A. Just leave two to try and hold down B, which may be difficult up against these Glocks once they're able to get close. Once they split down the drop room, are able to go out long together, and it can be really easy to get overwhelmed on this B bomb site. But finally Epsilon will begin to rotate some more players in, and actually it looks like maybe once again the bomb making its way back over towards A. So it seems like Na'Vi GG Bet rather, just working together to try and get that control towards drop room, and they will look to try and maybe split towards this A bomb site. Maybe this was the counter for that boost that you see coming in early on into this round by Epsilon in the previous times that they did actually play this map. So I believe that may be it. But right now it is going to be finally Na'Vi having to get a move on. They are going to have to finally begin moving towards the bomb site with only 30 or so seconds remaining on the clock. And it's going to be a difficult one. Smooya, he's on the bomb site, has the support also from Robin. Now the Glocks need to try and find these openings, and with Electronic being able to get that first one onto Smooya, it's looking quite good. Robin on the bomb site, not going to be able to find anything at all, and now the bomb will be getting planted, and it's going to be left all to Surreal. He has one kill already, needs to get the ace clutch. He gets himself a second, and actually taps the head off of Flamey, as it's looking pretty decent now, but still Electronic and Edward to try and find. As Surreal picks himself up a smoke and the defuse kit, and we see Na'Vi play that quite well. Na'Vi GG Bet Ready to play that quite well. They just stick together, ensure that they will be able to at least find the trade, and Electronic gets himself another headshot, as it will be the pistol round gun in favor of the Ukrainian side.
Yeah, there we go, and they go for 4 AKs here on the Ukrainian/Russian team. That means they do have not that much in terms of nades. And at least in my opinion, I think those Molotovs are really quite important when you're up against these sort of buys, just to try and clear out some of those close corners. So that could be a slight issue for the T side, but we'll get to see if that does come back to cost them, because for the time being, they are just going to hold back. Instead, that Surreal will go for the peak, and there are plenty of players waiting for him. There's actually the boost coming up there, so only the one player properly holding the angle, but Simple finds it fairly easily with the AK.
Yeah, and you see because of that now, Epsilon, they're going to continue looking to try and find some aggressive peaks on the other side of the map. Smooya, he was hoping maybe that someone peek aggressively to give a chance for him to find something, but it is just going to be more kills coming in favor of Simple, but that's before Robin steps it up. He's able to find a quick double kill, even drops the bomb out into the open, and now back into a 3-on-3. Happy GG Bet, they need to try and bring this one back, and Zeus walking out of the drop room is going to get taken down. Does luckily enough find at least one kill before falling, but there is a decent chance now for Epsilon. We've seen them on the previous map managing to pull off the upset with the pistols after losing the pistol round itself, as now it is going to be Edward trying to find that kill out of long. Won't be able to find it though, as Jack plays distraction and even gets himself the kill in the end, as now it's going to be all onto Flamey to try and clutch this one out. He's going to be in a 1-on-2, his position is known. He has 30 seconds left now to try and get this one done, to get the bomb, or to get both kills, and somehow try and clutch this one out, which isn't going to be easy. We see Epsilon playing this safe, Jack getting a lot of damage, spamming in through the wood. keeper as he gets the damage originally, and Robin will be allowed to close that one out as Epsilon once again pull off the upset with the force buy.
And I'm fairly certain this is exactly what happened back on Overpass, where Na'Vi GG Bet managed to win the first pistol and then lost to a force. So Epsilon now back in control. They are up against the pistols, and again, as we have seen in 1 or 2 rounds, Simple can be very deadly with the Deeg. However, he's been a little bit inconsistent. He hasn't really been able to get too much done with the Desert Eagles so far. Smoke going to go out towards B plat. With a fair few Deegs in the mix, they don't have to take anything too quickly. Having said that, Flamey down to 60 HP early on. Simple looks to be lining up this wallbang. Oh, it does do the damage. Smooya down to half HP. Not a bad way to start the round there for Simple, and quite cool to see he has the lineup for that.
Yeah, both the players looking to try and just try and maybe spam the other player down and take a bit of damage. It was traded out as Smooya down to 54, Flamey down to 61. And right now it is just going to be the CT is just sitting back playing this really passively. They know they're up against the force buy. They know they have the advantage with these rifles, and because of that they're not really going to be getting too aggressive. They don't allow for any close range challenges to be taken by the Na'Vi side, as right now it is going to be 3 Deagles, 2 CZs for them to work with, and they still also have a bit of utility in the form of 2 smokes and also 2 flashes, and it looks like they will make their way back over towards B, so an execute looking quite likely, but they need to get a move on quite soon. Time beginning to get low, only 40 seconds remaining, as it looks like they will even try and split in towards it. A couple players making their way through down through the drop room rather. Flamey, he will be leading the way out platform as he does get spotted out. Cosmin not be able to get that kill quite yet, and now it could get a little bit scary as Cosmin eventually takes down Zeus, and Surreal needs to try and get a couple out of this one. If he gets overwhelmed, it's going to get dangerous, as it is going to be gone in favour of Na'Vi. As Edward gets himself one more. Jack to try and finish off this player, but the flank from Electronic gets some damage done, but it won't be enough as Smooya on 13 points of HP will be able to clutch that one out.
Just about closing the round out there. Smooya surviving on a slither of health. However, that's all they need to keep their enemy's economy weak. Having said that, I am not a fan of this force buy from Na'Vi GG Bet. You can see they're only really getting pistols. 1 eco would have been enough for the full buy. And as I was kind of saying previously, I think they should just be playing to get as many full buys as possible. They should be confident when Simple has the AWP, when they have the AKs, that they can out-aim the opponents. But it's not going to happen. They're going to go for the force buy. They're taking the gamble. Let's see if it pays off. The push coming in early. Down to a 3v3. Cosmin gets a double, looking for a third. And indeed, he will find it. Blocking down the site. Electronic only good for the single frag. And I guess the potential upside is if you win the force, you would break Epsilon's economy. But now they're just in a similar position where they can't afford the buy. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. They are still going to buy. Okay then.
Did they fully buy? That's the question. This is a bit of a CIS buy. You drop over the AK. Zeus, he's not really bothered with sacrificing that. He's not going to be the heavy fragger anyway, so given that the Simple gives them some form of chance in this round now to try and get something done, but once again, Epsilon are able to open it up strong. He falls to Smooya. And now a 5-on-4 in favour of the European mix side, as it is still going to be at least the AK up for Simple to work with. Looking to try and find something, and Surreal may not actually expect this, as he does go for the peak. Receives himself a dink through the corner of the wall, and I think because of that now he won't really be looking to continue facing this position. Wants to make sure now that he can just stay alive, and Epsilon even aware now that there is at least 1 rifle in play.
Smooya was holding that angle towards mid, however now he decides to fall back after already finding the opening. Simple in the meantime is going to get aggressive. The AK does find the first headshot. There's a player up close and Simple gets a second spray down. This now starts to look dangerous because these rifles can be recovered. It's a 4v3 and it looks as though the T's are going to make their way towards the site. The rotation is too slow and that means that Cosmin is caught in the open. Only Robin and Surreal left, and considering they both only have UMPs, I don't see them winning this retake, and they don't either. They're already saving.
Yeah, it looks like the force buy, or rather the small investment of that single AK, is actually going to work out. As now Epsilon just looking to try and save, and they don't really have much money left over in the bank. Smooya, he can get the AWP rather in the following round if he wants. Jack should be able to also maybe get out a FAMAS or something along those lines, but if they do buy up to try and actually back up these weapons, they're not really going to have a great buy by any means.
And just a quick reminder for everyone, 15 out of the 16 teams at Katowice have already been confirmed. This qualifier here is the last chance for every team involved to try and play at Katowice. So Na'Vi GGBet need to overcome this deficit, but that round win there is certainly the way to start that. They've already brought it back to only a 4-round loss that they are behind, that they have to overcome, and Epsilon also don't have the best of buys. 4 UMPs alongside the AWP for Smooya. And considering his teammates don't have the best of weapons, I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see Smooya try to get aggressive, and indeed he will. Peeking in towards mid for that opening frag, and Smooya yet again gets the first kill.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Since they have the weaker buy into this one, they wanted to try and get that advantage early on. And Smooya successfully does that, still showing that confidence that we see on an overpass, not really afraid to push forward, and see it works out in his favor as he does take down Zeus. And now it is going to be the one-man advantage for the Ukrainian side. Let's see where they decide to eventually take this one, but they do have quite a lot of time to make that decision. They have well over a minute still to work with, and right now it looks like they will be just hanging back, waiting to see what they can get done, but most of their presence is at least going to be put over towards the B side of the map. We see them grouping up now, and they may try and make their way up platform, where currently Flamey is actually very far forward, and they may not even expect Surreal to be up close in this corner, as it's going to be Cosme and also below the broken wall. Good positions now for these CTs, as it is a crossfire set up. Flamey, though, he opens that one up. Will be traded up by Surreal eventually, but once again it will be returned by Electronic. Now in a 3-on-3 with the B bomb site, only having one player to try and shut this one down. It's going to be Robin. He will also be able to position himself with the smoke, not going to be giving him any chances, and Flamey spamming through it is going to be able to take himself a second kill, so it's all on to Chak. And he won't last much longer, as now it's only 3 rounds into difference.
Well, in the 3v3, Flamey gets a 3k very, very quickly there. That first spray through the smoke got both of those kills. That made such a massive difference. And, well, stepping up in the clutch is Flamey this time around. So, again, that just shows the depth that Na'Vi GGBet have. When their players show up, they certainly can have multiple ways of winning rounds. And that forces Epsilon back to literally 5 USPs. They're going to go for this stack in towards mid. I think this was first made popular by Virtus Pro, if I'm not mistaken, where you just have 5 players standing above each other on that slope. It's not a bad idea to try and get an opening pick. If you can just land 2 headshots, that oftentimes can be enough. However, it looks as though the terrorist won't stray towards that area of the map.
Yeah, I believe it was by VP, but they've slightly changed it. I think VP used to just have 5 players on the ramp itself. They're going for a bit of a boost with Smooya on the head of one of his teammates. We see also back up on the site itself, player up on top, and it's not really going to be the correct gamble, as you can see. It is just going to be the B-bomb site completely taken over by the terrorists, and this should be a round going in favor of the Ukrainian side once again, as Epsilon only 5 USPs to work with. Ideally, they just group up, try and take at least a couple of kills towards the end of this one, as they can at least maybe try and cause some damage to the economy. And right now, the op from in the hands of Simple. Spots out the first player, damages him up, and Flamey going to be able to take down Cosme. As they should be most of the kills going in favor of the Na'Vi side, at least, as I don't really think much is going to be found. Zeus with the Mach 10 trying to build up some bank, 600 per kill, of course, as it is now all onto Robin, and not a single kill comes in for Epsilon in that round.
Yeah, pretty much the round going as expected, I think it's fair to say. So that means both teams are already up to double digits. It looks as though this will be quite a tight map. Only 2 rounds between the 2 teams. It looks as though it is Zeus who has called this pause. So after winning 3 rounds in a row, they take a tactical timeout. Somewhat surprising, but considering how important this qualifier is for them, I can kind of understand if they want to just slow things down and make sure they take stock of exactly where they are at. And, I mean, considering the buy from Epsilon has a few things missing. It's missing a few nades, no AWP for Smooya, so I'm not sure he'll be as confident as getting aggressive. I certainly wouldn't expect him to peek in towards mid. So it still feels like it's pretty decent chance here for the T's to win another round.
Yeah, certainly. It's not a great buy by any means for Epsilon. They don't have the op on the Smooya, which has really been that weapon that they've been able to get those opening picks with. And we've seen even already, Epsilon, even though they got the opening pick in the round where they were able to take down Zeus, Smooya found that. Still Na'Vi able to bring that back. So, or Na'Vi GGBet, apologies. But yeah, it seems like they're just showing that experience now. They're able to bring back these rounds even when they're down with that disadvantage. And Epsilon just struggling to actually get a consistent economy, to be able to constantly get out the buys they want, to be able to get all that utility, and on the CT side that can really cause you to spiral out of control.
It certainly can be the case if they can't, especially if they just can't win, you know, consistent rounds in a row. If they just win one and lose the next, that really does put you in a rough spot. And on the T side, not only do you generally get more money for the for losing the rounds, but you can also get the bomb down, which gives you $800 extra between the teams. So that makes a massive difference, whereas the CTs cannot get that extra cash. Nonetheless, here we go. It is going to be round 23 coming into play. And we are just going to see both teams hold back. The smoke comes up towards drop. I think that did just about land for Epsilon. This is generally the setup that Epsilon go with. And I'm always kind of surprised to see Robin trying to hold within drop. Having said that, Smooya still gets somewhat aggressive. And, well, yet again, time after time, Smooya seems to be able to get this opening pick out towards A.
Yeah, and this time he does it with the M4 and doesn't actually take any damage in return either. So great start to this round by Epsilon. It is an important one to take. If they lost this, likely the scoreline would be getting equalized, as there would be an eco in the following from Epsilon. So they need to try and get this gun round to keep themselves in with a decent lead, as right now it looks like the terrorist side are just going to be grouping up mostly over towards B. We see actually just one player with the bomb over towards A, who begins now making his way back towards his teammates. And Shaq aggressive up towards mid, may be able to even hear these footsteps, and if he wants to do so, may be able to get a fast flank in. With 40 seconds now remaining, it will be indeed the commitment towards the B-bomb site. Flamey looking to try and find the opening, but we see a great setup right now from Epsilon, and it's just going to be working out perfectly. Robin and Surreal shut it down, and now Electronic, as the last man standing in the drop room, will only find a single kill before he falls, as it is going to be Epsilon to get themselves a 3-round lead.
Yeah, complete shutout over towards B there. And considering Epsilon had quite limited utility in that round, they actually held on to it for quite a long time, and they timed it really well. That incendiary out towards Plat slowed the T side down drastically. And then when the push eventually came in, Epsilon were made fully aware of it. You saw Robin could rotate over to assist out towards Plat, and that made things work very well for Epsilon. As you were saying, up to a 13-10 lead now. Epsilon just 3 rounds away from getting into the semi-finals. They're just going to come down drop, and Robin wins both of the fights. 2 opening kills for him. I'd have thought they would have been able to get the trade there, but Robin says no. And Na'Vi can't even push out through Plat here. They've only got 3 players left, and the smokes have slowed them down. That shot actually does land onto Cosmine. I have no clue how that managed to connect. Nonetheless, still a 2-man disadvantage, and you can see Smooya's pushed out through A.
Yeah, and this is really going to make it difficult. I'd like if Smooya doesn't go any farther forward, because he has the position now where if they do go back in this direction, he should be able to take at least 1 or 2 kills for free and give all that info to his teammates. And if they go in towards B, once they begin to commit, he can then get that flank. It's all about choosing the correct timing to actually pounce. As right now, it is just going to be Navi GGBet just holding, waiting to see if any mistakes are made. They will be looking to try and find an opening towards the drop room, but they realise that there's currently no one peeking, and they may actually decide to move down through this position. Gives them the access route to either towards the bomb site of B, or else in through connector, where they can try and wrap around towards the A bomb site. But good setup right now. Robin low HP, he's going to be the first point of contact, and as he falls to Electronic, gives at least a small chance now for the Ukrainian side to work with, and that's a nice Molotov actually. Jack going to be forced back, and as he pushes forward, another Molotov is placed down. Electronic, once again, leading the way, trying to desperately find these opening kills. Spots out Cosmine, gets himself the headshot, and Flamey, he's able to take down Surreal. So now the B-bomb site going to be going all in favour of the terrorist side. Simple also took down Shaq before Smooya returns 1, and he's going to be left to try and clutch this one out, but Simple with the AWP is just too fast.
Wow, there we go. Epsilon look in great shape there, but it doesn't go their way. Despite having quite a heavy B stack, Na'Vi GGBet managed to overcome that. And that was a very, very important round win, because you can see what it means for Epsilon's economy. Just a couple of pistols brought up into this round. And maybe that's the Na'Vi GGBet magic that we are looking for here. Remember, this, as I've been saying so often, this is the last spot at Katowice up for grabs. And we're only into the quarterfinals, so a long way to go for either side. But it certainly would be nice to add onto their storyline if they do well at Katowice as well. If the team manages to come back from behind here, it would be a nice way to start their journey off. Nonetheless, around 25 shouldn't really see too much come into play. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Epsilon stack a site, but they are just playing their default setup. And Robin, ooh, I was going to say should go down, but he just about gets away with his life. He'll be counting his lucky stars there.
Yeah, just It barely escapes, but Electronic looking to continue trying to hunt this one down. He's going to be taking that fight from drop room. Looks like once again the B-bomb site is going to be the destination for the terrorist side to go towards eventually, but Robin, he eventually wins out that fight himself there with Heat of 50, and Cosmian doing a similar thing as he takes down Flamey, and we do see Simple desperately trying to return it. Luckily enough, will get one. Cosmian pushes forward, and the trade's coming back and forth now, leave us in a 2-on-2. Not really much firepower for Epsilon to actually work with in this situation, and Simple at long range is going to be able to take down Surreal. So no Chak left in a 1-on-2. He will be coming in on the flank. If Navi aren't aware of this, it could get dangerous, but Simple spots him out, and now that should be the end of the round, as it will be Simple to win that fight and get his team a 12th round onto the board. There's one in the difference now. Epsilon, they don't really have the money to buy into this one either, but it looks like they may do so. Most of the players do. They will be perhaps lacking on utility for both Chak and Cosmian, but they do get the op. They do get 3 M4s and Surreal on the MP9.
Yeah, it's a little scary for Na'Vi GG Bet that Simple had to get 4 frags for them to win that round. However, the round win is all they were looking for. They get that to go their way, and now it's a buy versus buy situation. As you were saying, Surreal falls down to the MP9, but other than that, it's certainly a capable buy for Epsilon. And with Smooya playing so well over towards A, they've decided to leave him alone there to start the round. I think that's generally a pretty good call. It's unlikely that they would go for such a quick push towards A, considering they know Smooya's been AWPing. So that's, I think, a fairly safe call to try and stack B, to try and counteract any potential rush there. And now Sak will lean back over towards A to assist on this hold, and he might be required, because it looks as though the terrorists are going to make their way forwards.
Yeah, it looks like they will indeed be trying to get themselves this map control. It is a staple of the default, just trying to get the control over towards A, to give the option to either go towards A or else just force the CTs back onto the bomb site so they don't really have a lot of info to work with. But Smooya, even while blinded, gets that kill on the Zeus, also takes down Electronic, and as he spins around, he will eventually get taken down. Had the chance to take down Edward, but for now the bomb should be retrieved, and Simple being cautious, he seems to be aware that there's a possibility of this aggressive push down towards middle. That is going to be Chak up close, not really going to be facing though, just holding, waiting for the players on the terrorist side to push out. Simple chooses the incorrect corner to try and flush him out from, as the Molotov goes down on the left side. And now with a one-man disadvantage, let's see what the Ukrainian side are going to be able to do. Simple, Edward and Flamey left to try and clutch this one out and deny Epsilon from taking themselves a 14th round, as Simple will lead the way. He even trades out from the op onto the AK-47 so he can be a bit more versatile. And now on the bomb site itself, it's actually just going to be up to, I believe that is Robin, to try and hold this one down, but the flank also coming in. Cosmin, he's going to be able to find one over towards Connector. Actually, rather, he didn't. He got taken down. It was Surreal to get it, but in the end, Epsilon do get that round with 3 players alive and get themselves up to 14-12.
Yeah, Epsilon edging ever closer to the semi-finals. Remember, the winner of this game gets to play against the winner of Ago versus Big, which will be coming up after this series. So make sure to stick around to see what that semi-final matchup will look like. Nonetheless, we still don't even have the first team that's made it through yet, so getting a little bit ahead of myself. Epsilon still need 2 more rounds. And you can already see Na'Vi GG Bet currently all leaning over towards A. Last time around, Smooya found success initially on the A hold. He is here again, but this time it's the AK, not the AWP. It looks as though they are going to slowly but surely group up for their push towards A long. They are lining up this push, and here we go, it will come in. Smooya, the first man on the hold, trying to find anything. Rotate coming in from Robin fairly quickly, and it does allow him the kill. Meantime, Sacks in towards mid. He does fall at the hands of Zeus. You see the rotation though coming in here. Smooya doesn't get that kill. It's Edward to win the duel, and elsewhere Simple is going to also find a frag. 2v4 retake again looks impossible for Epsilon.
Yeah, and this is going to be the reset right now. Epsilon, they have to save these 2 weapons. If they don't, they're going to have nothing to work with really in the following round, as I believe it should be an eco coming up. Surreal, I believe, is going to be on a double eco, as is Robin, but the other players having a bit to work with at least. But Surreal, he needs to actually try and save this. He does get himself 1 kill at least onto Zeus. Gets himself that AK. Maybe an upgrade, depends which rifle you like more. It's all about opinions, I guess, but it does allow for at least the faster headshots to come in. But we can see right now, Na'Vi GG Bet not really looking to actually try and hunt this one down. They want to make sure that they keep these 3 rifles up themselves, including the op. And yeah, just make sure they can build up at least a small amount of economy, because this late into the game, if either team gets forced onto an eco, it's a really awkward situation. Now Epsilon, let's see if they decide to force up around this, or will they go for the eco and allow Na'Vi to actually equalize the scoreline.
Yeah, Epsilon in a fairly rough spot, but ooh, it looks like they are going to commit to that force buy. I was kind of expecting them to just go for one eco. They probably could have got a buy and brought it just back to a 14-14 scoreline. But they decide they want to get the round win right now. And they're going to try to do so with the 2 AKs. That means that if Epsilon lose here, they have a tough decision into the next round where they either have to concede map points or they would have to go for the force buy. Either way, Flamey is going to go for the opening, and that flash works so well. He's going to get that opening kill with ease. And now it looks as though the T's are going to overwhelm the site as Simple actually connects that shot on towards Robin, I think. Down to 33 HP. This Epsilon, they've just lost the site, so they've decided to call for the save. Honestly, not a bad decision at this point to just try and save what they can. The only unfortunate thing is they lost one of those AKs, so saving 3 UMPs still doesn't exactly feel great for them.
Yeah, not really. Into the following round, we likely will actually see them invested into this one, I would presume. Well, I guess they could maybe just go for the Eco and Cosme and then try and play for overtime, but that's if they aren't to win the following round. But yeah, if they're able to save these ones, they at least have something to back it up. It'll give them a chance, and I think the Eco is maybe a little bit more likely, and now allow Navi then to get themselves up to 15 if needed, and then get the full buyout in the following round afterwards, because they will have at least some firepower to work with now. As long as they are able to save it, of course, which I think they should be able to. The terrorists right now not really looking to try and hunt. They don't want to give away any of their own weapons. They don't want to allow any upgrades to come in, as it is going to be the bomb finally exploding. And while we have a moment, I just want to remind everyone that there is a giveaway being done on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship number 2. A Flip Knight Blue Steel field tested will be given away to all subscribers of the channel. You do have to be present here at the time, and then you're entered in with a chance to try and get yourself that nice little knife. But now 14-14, the scoreline equalised, and it looks like we will be going the full 30 rounds. The question is, will we go any further, or will we see one of these teams actually managing to close it out 16-14?
Well, considering Epsilon's buy into this round, I have to feel like Na'Vi GG Bet are the favourites here. Having said that, this could still go either way. There's certainly still stuff to work with. The Simple, what is he doing? He misses the first shot, then tries the no-scope. And that's not something I'd expect to see from Simple in such a key round. He goes down first. So it is a man advantage for Epsilon. That was quite surprising. The nade does even more damage. Flamey down to 26 HP, so he elects to switch it up to the AWP. And now, well, they're just going to have to play from a 4v5 with a couple of players taking some damage.
Yeah, that's not really the greatest start for the T side by any means. So yeah, still only on the Deagle, of course. There is still slightly better weaponry and also a lot more utility for the T side to work with, but down by one man with also Zeus and Flamey quite heavily tagged up. It's going to be difficult. Those UMPs now up close, they're going to become extremely dangerous, extremely lethal, as it is now going to be the terrorists just grouping up over towards B currently. Flamey, as mentioned before, low HP. He did retrieve the op off the body of Simple. He will be looking to try and maybe find an opening, as I believe he may have even spotted out the player in the corner there. The kit may have given away his position, but Electronic, he finds that opening kill in towards drop room. But once again, it's costly in terms of the HP. Back into a 4-on-4. But none of these players really for the Navi side, the Navi GG best side, are looking very healthy. As now Surreal playing up close will be looking to try and shut down this platform push, and he's going to actually be able to do it. Cosme peeks out though, gets the double headshot. Now it's all onto Electronic to deny map point for Epsilon, and he won't be able to do it. Jack spams through the smoke, and he will allow for 15 rounds to be put on the board.
Here it is, round number 30. Na'Vi GG bets Katowice life on the line. They haven't even qualified yet, and they are struggling. They have to win this round just to keep themselves in with a chance. Remember, Epsilon, if they upset here, they get to go against Ago or Big in the semi-final. I think that's a game that they absolutely could win, so certainly chances. However, they have to make sure they close against Na'Vi GG Bet now. At the start of the round, we're going to see both teams play slowly. This is something you see quite often in such a key round. Neither side wanting to make a mistake early on, and they both will not really trade any damage early into the rounds. I also do want to point out, Cosme's been playing that sort of close left position at B very consistently, yet it doesn't seem like the terrorists have been able to stop him. He got 2 kills again in that previous round, and other than that, still seeing not much go down. Over a minute left, so a lot of time to play with, and we are finally seeing some action out towards A-Long.
Yeah, Smooyip looking to just back off. Jack was actually pushed forward with a smoke in a position to maybe try and find one kill and then fall off, but The flash is coming down, he will just decide to back off, make sure that he's in a position with his teammate where if he does fall, the trade will at least come in. Right now, it is going to be the T side, just looking to try and advance their way up towards A, get control of long, get control of middle, and with 40 seconds remaining, I think this may actually force them towards the A bomb site unless they begin to hightail it back over in the other direction quite soon. So they may be actually forced to committing towards A. 30 seconds remains. They have some utility available for Simple and Edward, so a bit of an execute is possible, but just being one smoke, 2 Molotovs and a flash. As right now, Smooya in a good position with the AWP, posted up from the van, waiting to see if he can find any opening kills to go in favour of Epsilon, but it's Robin to start it off, takes down Flamey, and now only 4 remains for the Navi side. It's 15 seconds to get onto the bomb site. The time is getting so low. Smooya takes down Simple. He may get the second. Edward, luckily enough, trades that out, as does Zeus. And then towards the bomb site, the bomb, it may go down, but Robin drops it, and that's going to be it. There's no time anymore. Epsilon will take this second map, 16 to 14. Surreal just remains alive, and it will be a 2-0 in favour of Epsilon. We will throw it back to the analyst desk to discuss what we just witnessed.
What was that? Epsilon winning 16 to 14. Navi didn't plant the bomb.
What was that?
What? I mean, that slow play style is definitely killing Navi at one point, and while around to kill them. I mean, 16-14. Really, really unfortunate for Navi. I actually thought that they had that round. They had 2-1, but somehow.
What a way to get eliminated.
What a way to get eliminated. Right. I mean, really unfortunate for Navi. Commiserations, of course, but congrats to Epsilon. They played out of their minds. Smooya especially, Surreal, once again, really good towards Broken Wall. Zach had really good rounds. Cosmin in previous round, most important round of the half to take them even to overtime.
Yeah.
But they managed to win as well. Congrats to Epsilon. They win against Navi 2-0, and they are our third team to move to semi-finals. So really unexpected. Really, I'm actually amazed once again. I mean, after Overpass, okay, I thought, yeah, they studied Navi, they know how to play against them, and so on and so on. And on Cobble, once again, it was close, a lot closer than it was
the last time.
Last time, yeah. Last time, I think, even though it was 16-13, that match didn't really speak the whole story of how the game went. But this one, I mean, every single round after round, and Navi getting echoed a couple of times, really some strange decisions coming out of Navi. But here's the bracket for playoffs. So Avangard Mouseport is currently in semifinals, then Epsilon, and they're awaiting team from last quarter-final match between Big and Ego. So unexpected to say the least. I actually expected Navi to move forward to semifinals.